Hello, all you spacers out there, and welcome to part 4 of Endangered Species. Yes, the tabletop actual play role-playing show where a group of friends sit around and play the Mothership system by Tuesday night games. Thank you very much for checking out the show and this chaos. If you've watched any of the previous episodes, you know there's some chaos and there's all kinds of things going on so far. But if you're new to the show, welcome. And if you like it, please like and subscribe and just leave us a comment and let you know what you think of. Yes, all the good stuff down there. But who am I? Well, I am Vince Hunt and I am the Games Master / Warden for this particular evening's festivities. And joining me are 4 wonderful players who I just get a kick out of just rolling dice with them, just treating them like the best of buds, and in no way, shape or form are they going to hate me by the end of the game. And first up is someone that's always a joy to play with, my compadre, and if you've watched the Safe Space show, regular season, you recognise it from there. It's the one and only Lizzie Boyle.
Hello. Good evening. Delightful to be here once again.
See, so prim, so proper.
Hey.
But when they're... There it is. And,
just preemptive for later when you do a really bad thing.
I'm not going to do a really bad thing. It's nothing but good things. This is joyous. This is the My Little Pony of tabletop role-playing games.
Friendship is magic.
It is indeed. And what's more magical than another role player who just absolutely kick ass and is like a rainbow in human form? It's Sarah Millman.
Oh, not a rainbow.
All right, and what would you rather be? If you could be a weather anomaly, what would you be?
Oh, that one when is it in Australia where all the spiders fall from the sky?
The spider rain.
Oh, I think that's hell.
Spider rain.
God.
Chaos.
Sarah, I'm supposed to be creeping you out, not the other way around. Okay.
I'm really sorry.
We spoke about this.
Spider rain before.
Spider Rain. Her nickname is Spider Rain.
Fucking sick.
Whatever she wants, she can have. That's fine.
Yeah.
I give up.
Yeah.
I give up.
Yeah.
Before I even meet this spider rain lady, she can have what she wants.
Yes. Done.
Yes. Another person who can have whatever they want is our third player. You can see he's got a guitar in the background because he's a musical maestro. And he certainly knows how to kick out a jam or two. God, I sound ancient by saying that. So thank God I'm here with Eliot Red. Hello, sir.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
This is the, like, we've been talking for like 10 minutes. So now we're recording it. There's the preamble. Do you know what I mean? And everyone's got to say hello again.
Hi. Hello.
But look at him. He's so ready. If you've watched the previous episodes, you know that his character's having quite a time.
Raring to continue.
Oh, dear. And how...
Inside check.
Wrong game, Lizzie. Wrong game. But how could we ever continue this game without our 4th and final player, Matt Troy?
Hello.
So reserved. So reserved. Yeah, if you watch our last session, you know he's an agent of chaos.
The most vigorous
Not
character.
really chaos. I'm just saying it like I see it, alright? There's gonna be zombies or vampires or vampires or Nazi vampires or
Can you mix a zombie and a vampire?
Yeah, you get a Vambi.
If you get a really low quality vampire, do you remember like in Interview with a Vampire where they're like wandering around Europe and all they can find like all these rotten corpses? They're kind of like zombies.
But they're more like ghouls then, aren't they? They're just...
Yeah.
They're not
Like, where does a ghoul end and a zombie begin?
Oh,
Have you not seen the sequel to the Queen of the Damned?
that was Eliot, everyone. I'm going to mute him for the rest of the show.
I'm just saying, they go to a Korn concert and they basically just pretend that Korn fans are just vampires.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God.
In my
Corn the
brain.
food or corn the band?
The band. But thank you for
If it's
asking.
the ball,
Green
I can't
giant.
be as a vampire.
Already, it's gone off the rails, which means it's going to be a fun night of gaming. And yes, this is a game, and Mothership is a game of science fiction and horror. And as such, a warning straight up, there may be a little bit of a content warning, that because it might deal in horror, some ickiness, some violence, gore, scares, might be some nastiness, there may be some drug use, stress, panic, psychological trauma. There could be anything. If you look at the Mothership manual, there's a little preamble before there, just a warning to sort of say it is that kind of game. And certainly if that's not for you, feel free to pull the plug and leave now. Thank you for coming. I mean, I'm surprised you made it this far with the nonsense we've done. But I have, of course, talked to my players about all their lines and veils and how far is too far, etc. But one of them's called Spider Rain, and has already creeped me out. So I've got to really try and match them now. For the rest. But no,
Form a spin-off band called Spider Rain and the Vambies.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm totally up for that.
yes, make some
It's
notes.
gotta be Spider Rain with a Y. You decide where the Y goes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Maybe all Ys all the time.
There's the quote of the episode. I know what to.
Wise all the time.
Yeah, I know what to name this particular episode.
All wise.
Yes, but of course, I as a GM and a warden, I have talked to my players, and we know where we stand, as all good game masters should do. So if you're thinking about picking up this game, which is a wonderful game, from Tuesday night game, go check it out. Drive through RPG on Mothership RPG, .com, etc. Just go and discover it, because it's fun to play, and there's loads of great modules as well. There's loads of third party. They're very open to third party content, which is brilliant, because there's loads of modules and tables, and there's a wonderful Discord community and Reddits and all kinds of stuff. Really, really good community of people out there. So thoroughly check it out. It's a deep dive, and then you'll just get lost in all the horror, and I mean horror, that is available. Seriously, I look at some of these ideas and I'm like, oh my god, that scares me. Actually, I'm easily scared. So that's what I've got to say. That's why I do the scaring, because if any of these took the helm, I'd be a mess. But speaking of which, it's time for us to forge forward. Let's get straight into it, because I can't wait to see what the players think of my my catch-up that I'm going to do. But before I do this, let's cut to the credits, start the engines, get your panic buttons ready, as we're going to start this session of Endangered Species.
Ooh.
Previously, our squad of Armour Sight commandos had made a dangerous trek through unforgiving and, for an unfortunate few, deadly terrain. They lost more of their number, but finally made it to the outpost of Linear 7. This outpost was their original destination, But that was also a time when they thought they were to drop in and grab a bunch of scientists and leave. They did not expect this place to be a sanctuary from threats beyond its doors. But as they were currently being stalked by bloodthirsty monsters, that's exactly what the place had become. They got in and found it in darkness, devoid of life, and when they moved further into the complex, the party split into two groups, which is what tabletop parties do for any potential game masters out there. They will always split the party. It's just a thing that happens. It's as obvious. It's just going to happen every time. But Jackal, Vig, and the radio operator Workbench headed to the comms tower to find it without power and signs that someone met a grisly fate somewhere near. But yet there was no body. There were some grisly secretions that one of the players thought it'd be a good idea to sniff. Jackal then, he couldn't control himself and vomited everywhere, because you shouldn't just go around sniffing unidentified things. But they were still safe. Lucky escorted the injured tank, squad medic High Noon, and their squad android Harper as they headed to the offices of this complex to find medical supplies within the station physician's office. When they got there, they too found it in quite a mess, almost as if like something had happened there. But again, no bodies. Harper attempted to access the station's systems, but she too found access was not fully available until the power was back on. Meanwhile, Lucky discovered a notebook that belonged to one of the ADV staff, and as he flicked through the pages, he was struck by the strange, nonsensical and sometimes alien scratchings within it. He also discovered a small brick of marijuana that he pocketed and kept to himself. Be careful about your random tables that you roll on. Tank and High Noon were left safely locked away in the medbay, and the rest of the squad reunited before moving on to re-establish the power. Lucky and Vig found a possible means of travel in the form of an all-terrain vehicle that needed repair within the maintenance workshop, and stayed there to deal with that whilst the rest of the team got the lights back on. Harper hooked into the system and eventually switched things back on, which was good news. But the bad news seemed to be that whilst they were left alone, Lucky and Vig seemed to be slacking in their duties somewhat, maybe due to some extracurricular activities that they were doing to help them relax a little bit. It succeeded, but at what cost? When the group reunited once more, tensions were an all-time high, and eventually Workbench snapped, pointing a pistol at Vig. Harper stopped him from going further, but the atmosphere was still very, very tense. At that moment, as the group were deciding what to do next, the voice of the squad medic once again crackled over the comms and told them that she could hear something moving around near the outpost offices where they had left her. And that's where we pick up this week's session. And just to remind the players and our lovely audience, yes, they did, Lucky and Vig did have a little bit of a homebrew chill out session. They took a moment. They were unaware of how strong this stuff was, and it was quite strong, which meant they could reduce some of the stress that their players had so far.
Totally chill, man.
They gathered. A Mothership is a system where you gather stress as you fail more in the game. So they relieve some of that, but they now have disadvantage on ability checks for the next 4 hours. Now in the last session it was 5 hours, but a little bit of time has passed, so I've reduced that to 4. But just bear that in mind. I'm sure the players are going to keep themselves honest. They're not going to, they're not going to throw each other under the bus.
It's a shame you couldn't take High Noon with you.
So, the voice of High Noon has crackled over the comms and sort of said, There's something definitely moving around outside of the offices I mean, I'm locked in here, right, Harper?
As far as I'm aware, I left you locked in.
Oh, good. Good. Oh, good. Nothing to worry about. But I'd appreciate it if you come check it out, please. Now, what do the party do? You should all be able to see the outpost screen. So you've got the. You are currently having a very tense conversation in the maintenance and workshop area.
We need to head that way anyway, right? We're going to the comm station tower,
Yeah.
and I'd quite like to take the data I couldn't access before. I'd like to access that, so we need to head back to the offices anyway.
Would it help if I stayed here and continued working on this car?
You can continue working on the car if you want to work on the car.
It's gonna be checks to fix that car, isn't it?
And
Disadvantage.
just a reminder for everyone, last session, there is a sort of an all-terrain rover there, and the trailer. The trailer's kind of in working order, but the rover itself needs fixing, which will be some ability checks for Vig to fix it. And it can you can get 4 people in the rover, and you can get 4 people in the trailer. So it has a capacity of 8 total.
You think it's vital that we have this rover working?
I mean, it seems like if this whole place is full of vampire zombies, it might be a good idea to have an escape plan.
I agree. That when you put it like that, it's hard not to agree. Now, second question is, do you think you can fix this machine? Are you confident in your skills, considering your current mind state?
Hey, I'm sober as a judge. Sober as a judge, man.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to leave it to your judgment. You do what you think is best. I don't disagree with the idea of needing a vehicle to get out of here.
I grew up
That's fine.
on the other rim. I've been around this kind of crap for my whole life.
All right then. So you want to stay here alone? You don't want anybody to stay with you?
Meh. I'm happy on my own. If you want to leave somebody, you can leave somebody.
Oh, that makes me sad, Vig, but okay. Lucky, can you still shoot?
Yeah.
All right, let's head to the medic.
Workbench.
I mean, I have like a long distance sniper rifle.
Hmm.
So if you've got anything that's a bit more
You want to...
practical.
I have a submachine gun. My model isn't particularly
Terrify me.
I'm not particularly programmed to handle this kind of weaponry, so you can have it if you like.
May I?
If we have no other weaponry, of course.
So with that,
we do.
yeah,
Oh, we do?
But it's fine.
you're not completely loaded down with. And remember, Jackal he obviously picked a few guns up, but also bear in mind, Jackal, that is in order to do a lot of things. Like when you've been putting the power back on, you've had to put these things down, you know, and store them and stuff. You can't. They could be pretty unwieldy.
Yeah, I've got 2 guns and a vibrochetti.
Well, I'll take a gun off you.
No one likes a shell.
Where did you get that Italian food from? That's what I want to know.
Vibrochetti.
Yeah, we need snacks now. We need snacks, man.
Pepperoni on your vibrochetti.
So Lizzie, Harper, you are handing this gun to Lucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd like to think that her kind of android is not very familiar with weapons. She's
Yeah.
not, apart from, the obvious
She's not.
tranquilizer
Yeah,
gun.
yeah. Harper's not really a combat android the way she's been programmed. She's a support tech. She's sort of tech support. I mean, she's got like the tranquilizer, and she's, but shooting
Just don't.
firepower
Yeah.
probably maybe not so much.
You've got a weapon, right, Matt?
Yeah, I got a submachine gun and a pistol and a crowbar.
Sick.
Okay, so Lizzie, you have been given the submachine gun. another armor 29. The range is long. Damage is 2d10. It's got 4 shots, but it can be held one-handed. If you imagine, you know, when Dylan was in Predator and he had the 2 submachine guns, it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 shots.
Yeah. Or what John McClane has for much of Die Hard. Just imagine that, but like sci-fi. Yeah. So.
Contemplate taking my shoes off and decide not to.
Was that Lucky or was that Lizzie? Was that?
It's both, really.
What if there's glass
We are
on the
one and the
floor?
same. Yeah.
Okay, so Lucky and Vig are staying in the maintenance workshop. Brilliant. And they have...
Oh, am I staying?
Are you staying? Are you staying?
I don't know. I was waiting to be told what to do by our apparent leader.
Well, you don't have to come with me if you don't want.
You can go to the workbench.
I was going to go to the comms tower with workbench, but you know.
I thought you were coming with us when
Yeah.
you were going on to the comms.
Yeah. Cool.
I may have made a mistake.
I got
That was the original plan.
And Workbench pipes up. Look, if the power's back on, I gotta try and see if I can get a message and get someone to pick us up because this is a fucking shitstorm.
Okay, finally
And
somebody
I'm
with some
being
kind
honest.
of
I'm
plan.
not being left here with him. If
What I do?
You know what you fucking did.
I don't care what your motivation is as long as it gets you into action. This is good Workbench. Let's go to the comms tower, and on the way, we're gonna see if we can rescue that medic and tank.
Okay. So the team is staying together. Well, are
Apart
they
from
not?
Vig.
Vig is staying. Is Vig staying behind? I just need. Vig is staying behind.
You?
That's why I asked if he had a weapon.
And he just pulled out 3 things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vig, you can immediately start getting back to work. Now you had to make 3 checks. You failed the first one, didn't you? You'll probably have to start again because. Let's do the first check now, while they're going off. Now you know the thing is open. The contraband has been hidden away in the trailer of the rover. And for those who don't know, when I'm talking about contraband, it's marijuana and porn. How much Lucky let him have? Was it? I can't believe I've got to talk about these details. Did he give him joints, or is it? Did he put the brick with it?
I don't think Lucky would have given it all away.
Okay.
But maybe kind of like.
I mean, it is like a block of butter, if you know what I mean. That's what it was. So
Maybe a good sort of.
crumbled off an
lump.
eighth. Oh my god.
Oh no, generous, more generous.
Hmm.
Yeah. Could be a long night.
You saying that to me, Lizzie? Okay.
Just realised that my laptop is not plugged in. Excuse me.
So while Lucky is truly testing the limits of that word, Vig, you are you're going to try and fix you look at the interior of this thing, and you know you're rim wise. You're used to some. You're no stranger to engines.
Yeah, I've got industrial equipment as well.
So it'll be an intellect check.
Right.
But what do you want to add to that? Now, once again, while you're thinking about what to add, because Mothership D100 system, everyone has their stats and their skills. You roll a D100, and the aim is to get below the number that you have on your sheet. So, Vig, what is your standard intellect without everything else?
36.
36. So he would have to roll under a 36. But characters also have trained skills, expert skills, and master skills, and these can add between 10, 15, or 20, depending on what they are. I'm someone who also lets players double up on these skills if it works narratively, but the skill has to be important to whatever you're doing. So in terms of this fixing this engine, what have you got any skills that can help you, Vig, to bump up that 36?
First of all, I have industrial equipment. I worked on a shipyard on upstate New York colony. I'm gonna suggest Rimwise here because I grew up amongst like these big wheel vehicles. My parents grew up in like a weird little igloo thing made of metal on a shitty ass planet, and I've just been engineering, tinkering, pulling things apart, and putting them back together my whole life.
So this is very much Vig looking at what he's got, looking at the things that he's got, and literally just getting something. It's not to make it brand new, it's to make it so it works and gets out of it. So I will allow that, so you can add both of those. So what's the number you've got to roll under now?
So is that 56 then? 10 points each for train skill?
Yeah.
I'm rolling the D100 and the D10.
D10, yeah. So the percentile dice and the D10, add them together, and what do you get?
21.
21. So as the rest of them move out,
Disadvantage.
that is oh yes, it's with disadvantage, isn't it?
Sorry.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Hey!
I love honest players, don't you?
Somebody will be in the comments saying, "Oh, you let him fix the thing, and he had
Yeah,
this right."
yeah.
Rail!
I mean, I'm a terrible
And
games
I
master
can't be
anyway.
in the
I don't-
comments because I can't get to them. So you know.
So
Whose
roll
side
again,
are you on?
and you have
I'm
to.
too high to roll with my train skills, right? So I've just got to get below 36.
I tell you what, because it's with disadvantage, I'll allow the trained skills because you haven't. If you were smoking for a lot longer, that might be the case.
We just had a couple of puffs.
Couple of puffs. It was just
Yeah.
pokey space dope.
Mr.
That's all
Warden.
it was.
Yeah.
You didn't kill.
So, give me another D100 roll.
Okay. Right. Here we go. 30.
I had to take the
Wow.
higher roll, but it's still well below the number you want. So, you're starting off well. Perhaps it's the fact that they're moving away and you can just concentrate on the work now. I don't know how Vig. What does it look like as Vig? As things start to get quieter and Vig is beginning to work.
I tell you what, there's a lot of ass crack. I'm just like, I'm under there. I've got like a screwdriver in my mouth. I've got doing some pipes up. And checking out suspension doohickey. I'm changing the mats in the front.
Yeah.
Filling up the windscreen washer.
So you have succeeded the first check. Almost against odds.
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah. And the players are heading back. Are you heading back the way you came?
Do we see any reason not to?
The lights are back on now in this place, so now you can see.
I don't see any
It's
reason
shorter
not
to
to.
go the other way.
Would it?
Through the
Cut
entrance.
Cut through the entrance.
I thought that was the way we came,
Yeah.
was it not?
No, we
No, we
went
went around.
You went around. You
Yeah.
went through the offices and then passed through the offices.
Oh, okay.
And there's
You passed
Oog
the part
by the
sort of-
dome.
yeah, the pathway that went past the dome.
Right. Well, do we want to go through the entrance then?
Yeah, why not?
Then yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you head out another route, and you begin walking back, and there's part of you as you get closer to the entrance, you're beginning to hear near the entrance. You can see
I'm at the
that
back.
there's a few small sort of skylights, and you can the rain's still coming down. Doesn't seem to be as heavy as it was. You can hear it fainter, but now it's but it's still looking like a miserable time, and you're having a miserable time. You pass through the entrance once again, and you basically backtrack on yourself rather than going the way you came. Now, Harper, just for clarification, the office block itself,
Mm.
as you'll see on this map now, I added some extra bits to it just to sort of clarify it. If you zoom in on it, the office was a large block, and within it you had smaller offices that belonged to the staff that worked there. Two of the larger offices belonged to the station commander and the physician, which is the one you had. Now, you locked the door to the physician's office, Dr. Kamata's office. Did you lock any of the external doors leading to these offices?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't think you did. I think it was just.
I think
a
I
door.
just made sure that nobody could get in the physician's office. I locked,
Yeah.
so if there were 2 doors going into the physician's
Yeah.
office, I locked those.
Yeah, there's a general
that's
kind
what
of
I
door leading to those office sort of rooms.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you put in a code. You put in a special sort of hacker code with Harper's hacking skills, and made sure that she locked it and no one could get in,
Mhm.
apart from Harper. And
I don't see any flaw in that plan at all.
as you pass through back the way you came, you see the offices once again. But now that the lights are on, you can see the disarray more clearly now. Near the entrance, not so much, but certainly towards the comm tower. Remember, Jackal, you when I say it's lit up, it's not like the Enterprise lit up. This is still a working station. It's still basic. It's atmospheric sort of lights, but it's not gloomy anymore. We're not in Bioshock anymore. That's what I'm saying. God, that scared me just thinking about that. But when you head to the offices yourself, and you pass that corner, you see something there outside the door of the physician's office. You can't really see it at first until who's in the front?
I'll be in front if nobody else wants to.
Okay.
At the back.
I have no weapons. I will be in middle.
I am at the front.
Okay.
Combat shotgun at the ready.
Workbench.
I'll be just in front of Lucky, and then.
Okay.
And then is it workbenches?
Workbench is there. So it's Jackal, Workbench, Harper, and Lucky. And Jackal, as you're still on alert, and you sort of
Oh yeah.
you peek around the corner, and the rest of you can hear this sort of like a bloop bloop, meow meow, doot 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 doot, meow meow. And Jackal, you're the one that sees it first. There seems to be a figure stood in front of the physician's office. You can't see them. They're sort of like they're turned at an angle, and they're sort of like they have their left hand up and they're just trying to type into the pad to open the door. They are a tall, because the lights are on now, so I can give you more details. They're a tall, sort of slender humanoid figure in a light sort of bluish grey jumpsuit, sort of overall. And you can see, as the rest of you sort of peek round, you can see that every time this person is tapping in to this door panel, an error code sort of flashes up, and they just keep trying it. But they're sort of, their heads at a funny angle as they're doing it. Another thing you notice is underneath, by their feet, you can see by their feet you can see a puddle of pale liquid dripping onto the floor.
No, they had an accident.
And this is this
I'll get into the room.
there is pale liquid that is leading back out, not the way you came, but in the other direction, towards the path that you originally took out of here, if that makes sense. And you see like patches of this liquid. Harper, you immediately know what this liquid is.
Are they a robot?
And it's something that you saw as you passed the lab dome. One of the lab dome doors was shut, and there was some of this pale liquid on the floor. And you can see them sort of, you can only see one hand sort of tapping into this, and they've got like sort of dark sort of slick back, almost Loki-like hair, dark sort of hair slick back, and you notice on their left hand it's covered in that substance, and you can't see their right arm sort of seems to be covering up something. You can't see the right arm from where you are. What do you do as they're just trying? Okay. With the sound of that combat shotgun echoing through this corridor.
We choose violence.
The figure stops, and then they lower their hand, and they slowly begin to turn round towards you. By now, I think you're all kind of in the door. I would say you've moved into the office corridor a little bit, haven't you? So you can see fully. And this office corridor is probably 10 feet wide. It's not a massive, this isn't a huge base, but, it's enough for two people to cross each other in the corridor. And you're all stood in, so you should all get a decent view of this now. And Workbench like, what the fuck? As the figure turns around, what you see is a male sort of figure with light brown sort of skin and sort of dark shoulder length hair. They have pale eyes, a similar colour to Harper's, or at least the one that you can see.
Just the one.
Just the one. And as they turn, you see the name Isaac in white print on the left hand breast pocket of their overalls. That's initially the details you pick up. Shortly after, the initial surprise wears off. Harper, could you make me a sanity save, please?
Oh, okay. Is there any... there's nothing to add to it, or it's not with... Okie dokie. Oh yeah, I forget that, and that it's good to have a low roll. Oh
yes.
Shit, wrong one. I'm rolling a d20. That's wrong. Oh, I'm so sorry. My brain is just fudge at the moment. Let's try again. I was like, oh, that's a 1. It's amazing. I smashed it. No, you didn't. You absolute potato. I've just got 0, 0, 0, 0.
You got 100.
Yes.
That's a critical success.
I'm so sane. My
My
brain is so good.
There is a cult. You immediately recognise this, but there's something. You just look at it, matter of fact. This is an android who is very badly damaged. You do not get a stress. You do not. If anything, you're in the zone, and I would say with that, I'll give you advantage on checks for the next hour.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Very nice of you.
Rather than just sort of saying you don't have any stress, it was a you rolled 100. That should be celebrated. So as Harper's just sort of taking it in, the rest of you, you're just trying to take this in. The jaw of this figure is askew, like someone violently knocked it out of alignment. The right side of its neck is torn open, and you can vaguely, Harper, probably as your eye sort of zooms in with the critical success, you can see the mechanism sort of moving within and trying to sort of move and stuff. The gash starts at the neck and stops just above the clavicle, this particular gash. And you can see as they're sort of moving, there's like some more ichor sort of squirts out. But as they turn, you see the major damage. There is an enormous gash from the top of the chest to the base of the stomach, just above your waistband, really. The overall is torn apart, and there's synthetic skin has been ripped and shredded. The pale android blood, for want of a better term, just drips from this wound, and you can see that the figure's right arm that you can see is sort of folded over. Imagine if you would, like if your arm was in a sling. That's how it's sort of resting there. It's cradled somewhat, and you realise, some of you maybe with some horror or disgust, and at that point I'll say the rest of you can make a fear save with disadvantage because you're next to an android who's pretty chill.
God damn it.
Do I need to? Am I rolling a fear save?
No.
Or am I...
You saw this. You saw when you clocked this. You were like, you sort of worked out.
Whatevs.
Lucky, that's with disadvantage. Oh no, the save isn't. Sorry.
But it is because we're near
yes,
the android.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was because of the marijuana, but it's not. It's just clearly because of the android. He's very calm about all this. Okay.
Oh no.
Lucky, what did you get?
So I rolled a 5.
Yeah.
And a 42 against a 45. I am not afraid of this at all because I'm flying.
Jackal.
Yeah, I got a success on the first roll, and then I got a 99.
Could you roll me a panics? Gain a point of stress.
Thanks.
What stress are you at now, Jackal?
I'm on 10.
Okay, roll me a d20, and this panic roll you have to get 10 or above.
Oh, 11.
You don't panic. You don't panic. But it is pretty gnarly seeing this. Yeah, you realise with the horror that arm is resting there to stop much of the synthetic internal organs from literally spilling out onto the floor.
Yeah.
And you do also notice that its right hand is missing, like it's just been torn off. So it's using like what's left of this arm to sort of hold things sort of together. And you see like there seems to be some rough bits of sort of gaffer tape or some sort of just that have been. You can see someone's tried to stop this from happening, but they're doing what they can. This figure sort of regards you all, and its eyes sort of widen slightly as it sees Harper all of a sudden, and begins sort of shuffling forward, sort of reaching out with sort of one sort of good hand, like going, and it seems to be sort of pointing its hand towards its neck.
Okay.
What do you do? Is it sort of slowly sort of shuffling a little bit?
I'm guessing you can't communicate.
Well, not from this distance. If I can get past the two in front of me.
Workbench is. He's quite happy to step aside. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can see he's got his gun trained on this thing.
I'm just gonna say, stay where you are to this other android, and I'm gonna open the door to the office with my special Harper code. As
you sort of walk past the android, it's sort of like it goes to sort of put its hand on your shoulder, Harper. It's like you can see like some of the mechanisms sort of are moving. You think it's trying to signal something towards you.
Can I look a bit more closely?
Well, you can still head towards the door if you want to head towards the door, but this is what this thing's trying to communicate to you as you're passing.
I am not programmed to provide any medical assistance.
Looks like you're confused.
It's not. Let's get you into the medical office.
Yeah, and can I get the walkie-talkie out and message High Noon and Tank and be like, well, look, we found an android right outside the doors of the medical office that you're inside.
Is there anything... Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Sorry, is there anything I can do? I mean, I'm good at computers and math.
You would have to, like... Are you opening the door? Or are you...
Yes. Yes.
Okay. As like, and you see the android sort of watches as Harper just sort of quickly just plugs in and uses her code and just.
Password 1234.
Exclamation mark, underscore, exclamation mark. And you can see that High Noon is there and she's got like a pistol. Oh fuck.
Is there anything on Isaac that looks like it didn't come from Isaac?
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's no perception check
Yeah.
in Mothership, but this is a case. This is a very much a game of like, if you say what you want to do, then most of the time, the warden should just be like, well, you see this, so you'd have to approach him to a little bit more to see, because he's sort of turned away from you. He seems to be looking at Harper a little bit.
I'll kind of come up a little bit
And
behind Harper.
Yeah.
Using Harper as a bit of a shield.
Yes.
And he doesn't look like he's,
Fine.
you know, he hasn't got any. There's nothing apart from the massive damage. There's nothing else that really stands out.
Nothing like human blood or
No.
monster oogle.
No.
Okay, cool.
Not on him that you can see, but like I say, there is a lot of this.
I mean, there's obviously
yeah, it's an absolute mess. And High Noon's like, the fuck?
I guess this was the source of the noise that was outside the door. It's just busted up old robot.
I think this android would appreciate our assistance.
And-
Perhaps
and-
they can assist us.
And the Isaac sort of turns and looks at you, Jackal, when you say just a busted up old robot. It sort of looks at you, and there's a certain look in its eyes that sort of tells you, I beg your pardon.
You're used to dealing with Harper, who does not give a fuck.
Yeah. It's like, can I?
You
do I
can
have
see
to
you
roll
can
to
see
notice
that this thing's a mess. He's a mess right now.
Yeah.
But
So
clearly
he has
he never used to be a
comprehension.
mess. Like Harper's got like seams, like bits and bobs and stuff. But this thing is.
Oh, okay.
This looks. It was brand new out of the packet, kind of thing.
All right.
It's
Okay. I
Not
want to just clock that and take interest and just be like, oh, workbench. You think you can help?
Are you fucking kidding me, man? I'm the radio operator. I don't know how to fucking work these things. No offense, Harper.
What? You can't help with any of the communication of how
What?
he
That
uses...
thing's fucking jaw?
What? Could you just take a look at its neck? Maybe you'll see something.
God. I swear to God, if this thing tries biting my fucking hand off, you're gonna blow it to smithereens, right?
With its broken jaw.
I don't fucking know. And
I think it would be much less inclined to bite you if you stopped referring to him as it. I assume it's a him.
And Isaac sort of looks like.
Lucky's going to
Never
go
presume
over
pronouns.
to a desk. I'm looking for a piece of paper and a space pencil.
Okay, so
Or
and there is
pen.
like, you know, there's certainly paper within this office, of course.
And using my fantastic art ability, I'd like to draw a picture of one of the things we saw outside and show it to him.
Shout.
GCSE art.
Just because I want to see what the roll does. I just want to see what the roll does. This isn't going to be a stress check, unless you want it to be, Lucky. But make an intellect check with your art skill.
Intellect with art at
At
disadvantage.
disadvantage. This is going to be
33.
good.
So 43 is the target number. Oh God. And that would. Oh dear me. So 2 fails, one of which is an 88.
Uh-oh.
Is that the
What
higher?
did you
Is that the
draw?
higher?
That's
of
the
two?
higher one. That's the higher one, and it's an 88. The other one's 79.
Okay. Well, the first thing, I mean, this wasn't gonna. This wasn't a stress check, really. But the picture's fucking terrible. Lucky's not an artist. This thing looks like it looks like a potato with like. Yeah, if we can see that. Yeah, a little bit like that.
Yeah.
But less cutesy Pokemon. And
Well, you know, some people are very realistic in their style, and I've always been more about expression of something interior.
Isaac looks to Harper once again, like as workbench is looking, it's like, oh god, this stuff fucking stinks, man. And it's like, it looks like some of there's a few connections that have been knocked out. I can't. Harper, do you know how to work? I don't want to fucking break something, man.
Okay. I've been broken apart 1 or 2 times. Can I?
Indeed.
So weird.
Indeed.
Can I please? Is there any? Can I?
What skill is it? This would probably be an intellect check with advantage, and I'm giving an advantage narratively because, as we've stated, Harper has been put apart. She put together several times. She's probably done it a few times herself. At the beginning of the game, she twisted her arm back into place to get it to work. So that's the advantage. It would be I would say probably an intellect check.
Okay.
I don't know if you have anything that would help with that. I don't think necessarily you do.
I am
maybe computer. I will allow you computers.
Computer, yes.
Yeah, because you can see as soon as you look in, you can see that there's some things that have been disconnected as it's been cut. They haven't been severed, but things have been sort of knocked apart.
Okay, so my intellect is 52, so that's going to be 62, and I want to get lower than 62.
You want to get lower than
correct?
62, yeah.
Okie dokie, I am good with computer. Oh, that's a 46.
Okay, you can roll again, because with this with advantage, but if you got
That's 36.
oh wow, there you go. Not quite a critical success, but certainly there's a few bits, and your hands do get filthy as you got. There's a point where a good part of like Harper's like hand, like fingers, just disappears, like as you can hear, and you find the connections and just sort of you hear a sort of. And then the hand goes up and goes, just yanks its jaw sort of back into place, like, and you can see like where it's done that the sort of synthetic skin has sort of torn a little bit. It goes, and like blood bubbles up out of the mouth as it sort of. Thank you. I apologise for how I look at the moment, and any distress I may have caused, but thank you. I was having some difficulties communicating, as you can see.
Yeah, that's great. Look, we're sorry about that meeting. That wasn't great of us. Your name is Isaac, correct?
Yes.
Isaac, this time is of the absolute essence here. We are a search party, rescue mission.
You are the Armour Site rescue team that we called for.
Yes. We need to know what the hell has happened here.
And you can see Isaac's just sort of looking at the small group. Yes, I can tell you that, but forgive me for asking. I thought there would be more of you.
So did we.
Has there been a complication?
You could say there have been many complications.
I apologise. I do
Hold
not
up my
understand what the drawing of a root vegetable has to do with.
Neither do I right now, honestly.
Perhaps it's the intoxication I can sense from the substances.
I fucking knew it.
Oh, that robot's a rat.
He's a high-functioning rat. but like very matter of fact. Sort of.
Monsters. Aliens.
Ah, yes. I see.
We've seen
Weird shit.
four-legged-
Looking things that didn't look like you and didn't look like us. And don't like anything that they
On our
find.
way into this facility, we were immediately chased into this building by multiple four-legged, eight-eyed creatures that we've never seen before, and we were told this planet was uninhabited apart from the scientists.
Indeed, that's what we thought was the case. And my explanation has already been halved because you already know some of what I'm about to tell you. Those creatures of which you speak, they are what did this. Meanwhile, back in the workshop.
The android's fighting. Red Janet. Nancy stars in.
You hear a loud bang against the sort of I don't know what to call it, like the large sort of door, garage-like door, warehouse-like door. I mean, it's ultra structured. You know, this thing isn't moving, but you hear it seems to be a sort of like a scraping against it.
Is this scraping imminently dangerous, or is it just a probing kind of scraping?
You stop singing for a moment, and you listen, and that sort of scraping, it sort of moves across the door. At first you think, God, is that going to do what happened to the ship, to our ship? And it seems to move across a little bit, and like you say, it seems to be probing, testing. There's another sort of, you hear it's almost a light tapping against the door a little bit before it stops, eventually stops.
Have I got a communicator?
Yeah, you got the short range communicator.
Can I communicate with the LT or the corporal? Or
Yeah. Vig's voice suddenly appears over the comms as Isaac is talking to you. Vig, what do you say?
Hey, this is Vig. Come in, Jackal. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Vig? How you doing?
I'm not so bad myself. We got something outside. He's tapping on the door of the garage, of the garage, of the car hole. I don't know what he's doing. He's just tapping, you know, like he's testing it.
Is he still tapping?
He stopped for now.
All right, I would stay on high alert for a few minutes. Maybe don't start making any noise until you're absolutely sure that you're safe.
All right, boss. So I'm gonna get my submachine gun. I'm gonna send you with it.
Okay. And you go stop working and just stare at this thing. Okay. And you don't hear anything for a while, but you're just there. Back with the rest. Oh, actually, make it a little bit fun. Could you make me a fear save, please? This is not with disadvantage, but a fear save nonetheless.
So what is the fear here? I don't. Where does this appear? Oh, fear 26. Yeah. Right. So I have to get below 26.
Yeah.
And I'm rolling a
D100. Yeah.
Just a D100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the 2?
Oh, the D. Okay. Right. Oh my God. I got 49.
Okay. So that's a point of stress. You get a point of stress for that.
No. Okay. Yeah, I'm only on 8 stress anyway, so now.
Only.
So that's not so bad.
The 90s.
Because of that delicious doobie that we smoked last game.
Delicious.
That's delicious. Okay. And back with the rest of the squad. Isaac is there. And even though they look, and it's an absolute horror show, but they seem to be moving and communicating in pretty well. There's the occasional sort of, as they speak, something like a bit of android blood sort of comes up. It would seem that the creatures are still interested in this facility, which means, as you say, time is of the essence. I had as for what happened, Sorry, apologies. Your compatriots, do they need help? You can see high names there, so go ahead.
I'm just gonna, I knew you could. I think you can put the gun down.
Fuck.
How's Tank doing? Yeah, I think he could probably use the most assistance.
And
out of any of us right now.
he sort of like.
Can we do story hour first and then do?
Yeah, don't
help
fucking
him?
worry about me. I'm fine. Indeed, story hour. I presume that is some sort of humour. Yes. I presume it was you who switched the power back on to the facility.
Yeah, we got the lights back on.
I had been monitoring what security cameras there were from a console in the laboratory dome. In the storm, one of the external power coils was struck and it overloaded the system. I can only presume that that's partly what locked me out. My codes no longer worked. He looks to Harper.
No, that was me. I wanted to make sure that the two people in here were well protected. I didn't know whether there would have been some kind of... She just kind of like trails off like,
And
oh
it's like-
shit, I made a stupid decision.
That was excellent work. And there's a slight smile.
Okay, so
Thank you.
Isaac, when did you have your encounter with the creatures? And I like look at all of the wounds on his body as I say it.
In the past 2 days, this outpost at first suffered under the storms, and then more recently under attack from those creatures that have hounded you. They got inside the facility through a damaged outer panel in the solar panel chamber. One of our staff were attempting to fix the panel when he was attacked. I believe he was dragged into the jungle, and that was the last we saw of him. Once they got inside, it all happened very quickly. They hunted and killed whoever they could find. I only had a short amount of time to act, and you can see there's a moment as he's talking where the massive damage that this android has taken, he's trying to stay on, but Harper, you looking at it, you just think there's only a matter of time. Yeah, he's gonna, the massive damage, he's trying to do what he can. Commander Paxton had been badly harmed, but I managed to secure him, Dr. Chen and Dr. LaRue within the safety of the sample storage vault within the dome. As I was giving them rebreathers and supplies, Dr. Kamata, upon seeing Paxton's injuries, broke free and made haste to his office, this office for urgent medical supplies. And you see Isaac sort of looks into the office, and you can see now, like, no blood, but like, it is, as I said, it was wrecked. One of the creatures found him before he could return. There was nothing I could do for the others. So I locked the vault.
You still got 3 people in the vault.
Yes. I locked the
Good
vault,
work.
observed the creatures in some small way from the observation desk. And when you say good work, he sort of looks at you, Lucky, and goes, "It is part of my role as this station's android. I try to do what I can. Some would
where's
say
the
that
vault?
my performance was not satisfactory enough."
Yeah, well. Fuck 'em.
We assumed there was no survivors, so it is
Isaac,
good to
you are the
realise
first.
there are.
Yeah, you are the first thing we've encountered that is not one of those creatures. Now, you say you've got 3 people. Where's the vault?
The sample storage vault is within the laboratory dome. As I say,
Don't.
that was where I was stationed there, and I locked whatever I could within this building before the power went down.
Okay, and I don't suppose you have any knowledge on whereabouts of these creatures, where they're likely to be in this facility, how many we might be dealing with. Is there anything you can give us, Isaac? We really need it.
Yes. There is one currently residing within this station.
Just one.
Back to the maintenance workshop. Vig, are you still watching the door?
Watching all the doors.
You hear another sort of sound, sort of echoes from the side of the warehouse now. It feels like something's... It was in front of you, and now the sound's moving like they're testing. Like something's definitely testing something.
How fixed is this car?
You need another 2 more successes.
Oh no.
Come on, let's go. Let's try and get this car fixed.
Okay, so once the
You're
sound
too high
stops,
for this.
once the sound stop, you can slowly just trying to fix it. Make your intellect check with disadvantage. Or with all the... You've got to get the same roll you did last time, because you can add, like...
So I got to get below 56, yeah?
Yeah. With disadvantage.
What does the disadvantage mean again? How does that
You've got to
work?
roll twice,
Yeah.
and you're taking the higher of the 2 rolls.
All right. Okay, so I've got... I got 62.
Get a point of stress. It's not...
Okay.
Your hands are shaking a little bit as you're trying to fix this. It's just... And one of the tools,
Right.
at one point, falls down and clang, clang. And you just listen. And nothing. But it's stressful.
Okay, so I'm on like 9 stress now.
I'm hurrying up.
Am I rolling again now? or
In
was
a
that
minute.
fine?
Well, we'll cut back to you in a second.
Okay.
This is delicious drama, and I love it. Isaac continues. Yes, I managed to lock one away within the water and hygiene station.
Oh, that's way far from me. Great.
How'd you lock it?
Well, as I observed these creatures, and I noticed that they were pack hunters. I counted 6 in total. They would move through with immense speed, and after each kill they seemingly took the bodies back the way they entered, through the hole in the solar panel chamber. Initially I thought that was all, and I was ready to lock up the station then, but before I knew it, they had returned. This time I presume to... And he looks to all the humans in the party. I apologise, I have no other immediate way to describe it. They came to savour their meal. These creatures seem to have a thirst for blood. From what little I could see, I witnessed them come back and lick clean much of it from the floors and walls of the station.
So, how did we get it wrong? How did we think this place was uninhabited?
Initial scans suggested that this place had no life signs. The scans must have been wrong.
Well,
Computer fault? Really?
it's possible, but it just seems unlikely.
Incredibly unlikely.
It may have been due to... He pauses for a moment. What they discovered. This activity happened no more than 2 days after we discovered the site.
The site?
Yes. But I'm afraid that is confidential information.
Oh yeah, we know about that though.
Would I have clearance?
Are you asking that as a player? Or are you asking that?
Both!
It's the thing from the book.
You saw
The thing from Karloff's notebook.
you saw nothing. There was nothing to suggest anything. So on your initial scans, you couldn't really see any data. You've yet to scan properly, so you don't know whether your clearance is high enough. But Isaac sort of continues. Once these creatures were done, I watched as they left. There are no security cameras within the maintenance warehouse, so I was unaware that one still remained inside when I locked the rest of them out. Once it discovered it had been trapped, it became enraged and stalked the corridors. It didn't seem to sense me. None of them seemed to be interested in me. I presume because I am not warm-blooded. But once this one was trapped, it stalked the corridors, and eventually it found the scent of some of Paxton's blood on the lab floor that I had yet to clean up. I was too slow to lock its doors. I could not risk the lives of who remained, and I eventually trapped it within the water and hygiene chamber. And he briefly glances down at himself. As he does so, part of the skin in the neck sort of tears a little bit more. Eliot's panicking.
Every time.
As Isaac looks down at himself, he sort of says, "It did not go as well as I would have liked. But now you are here, and I must see that the staff are evacuated immediately. What is the plan?"
There's a plan.
The plan was get in, grab survivors, get out. That plan has all but evaporated since we landed on this planet. I say land, I mean crashed.
Isaac sort of turns to you. Did you have crash landed on this planet?
Yes, there was an unbelievable storm on the way in.
Yes, but does that mean we have no way of leaving this planet?
Seemingly not, no.
Workbench pipes up. I'm hoping to do something about that.
It's true. Workbench, we need to get to the comm station tower. This is true. Do we want to split that off? I feel like we should be trying to make some progress here.
What's your name? Isaac? Robot? What's... And he looks to Harper. I'm sorry, is there a certain way I should talk to him, Harper?
As you talk to anyone else?
Yes, I am here. Oh, sorry. There's nothing in the comm tower, right? No, I'm afraid that Mr. Freeman, he was attacked in the comm tower, but I believe that nothing is there anymore.
Part of my mission is to obtain data from this
Yes.
compound.
I can show you to the relevant data caches for you to connect to within the lab dome.
Vince, is there any way that I could get the data off the android? Is there any way I could get Isaac's memories or something? I don't
Going
know.
into his guts. It's like, ooh.
You would know. You could.
Has he got has he got a USB port?
There
that I
is.
could just plug into?
There is a way to link to androids. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do that.
How do you suggest this to him? You don't have to roll it out, but how do you suggest? Matt's so scared he's left. That's the last we see of Vig.
I would just ask very politely and say, you know, if you would be averse to it, can I have your data, please? Question mark.
If you think it will help save those that are left, then yes.
Wait, are we getting the confidential stuff as well?
You're not getting it. I'm getting it.
No, I'm just making sure.
Yes. Yes, we can link, but should we not retrieve the staff from the vault first? And you can see he's starting to lull a little bit.
We know where the vault is. We must prevent data loss, I think. Rest assured we will get the crew out. That is top priority.
But they're safe in there, right?
They are quite safe. Mr. Paxton was heavily injured, but they had supplies and rebreathers. It is an airtight chamber, but they had enough oxygen to last them
Or
many days.
okay. Yeah.
And
Is there any way of communicating with the vault?
Communication is impossible.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So workbench is eager to go up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with the workbench.
I want to get the... Oh, sorry.
And certainly you look to him and he sort of nods. If you think it will help, and he sort of moves his arm and like more ichor sort of finds out, and it's on the sort of torn up arm that there's a panel, and you see Harper immediately. I mean, this is pretty gross what's happening, people, but Harper sort of takes, like, there's like a rectangle panel on his forearm. He sort of peels it back, and she does a similar thing to her own, and like starts getting wires and sort of connecting you.
I use my Game Boy Link.
Yeah, the Game Boy Link is happening.
Well,
I got Pokemon Red. You got Pokemon Blue. Yes.
yeah. While they're like linking up and connecting cables and everything, can I just can I look at Isaac and just kind of be like impressed with the scientific work that's like is clearly on this android, and kind of look at him, and I'm impressed by like how comprehensive he is. I'm kind of like, Isaac, how long have you been active?
I have been on this station since it was originally imposed. I have been operational for 18 months now. And you notice the logo on his neck of the Amalgamated Interests sort of logo, which is on his neck. It's a lot clearer and newer than the one that's on Harper's neck, but it is the same logo.
He's a wee babby robot.
He's a newer model.
And as Harper, as you switch on, and like back in the workshop.
The year 2520.
Jesus Christ. What have we done?
Too fucking stoned to work on the car and paranoid about the monsters everywhere.
Oh my god.
Make another intellect roll if you're going to try and fix this thing.
Okay, so again, I've got to get below 56, yeah?
Roll twice, give me the higher.
Okay. So I got 37 on my first roll.
Okay.
Fingers crossed, gang. And I got 49 on my second roll. That's it. That's okay, isn't it? Because I got the...
Yeah. So there's one point where you're trying to do as quietly as possible, and then you feel something click into place. You think, holy shit. It's the first time since doing this. There is a moment of sobriety that washes over you, and that's a moment where I think I can fucking fix this. And that's where we're going to go to break.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, I can breathe.
While the players actually start to use their own respiratory system, we're going to take a break of 5 minutes. So join us in 5 and see what on earth is going on with this place. And welcome back. Okay. Vig has triumphantly. He's getting somewhere with fixing this rover. And eating a cornetto. He's not doing that in game, but I got to give props to the cornetto. So we're very pro cornetto on the show. But we don't necessarily say eat it out of a gun. Meanwhile,
Promise of a really nice lady on Etsy.
What, the cornetto?
Artisan cornetto.
No, you can really get anything on Etsy now, can't you? Really. But while Vig is hard at work, trying to very quietly fix this machine, back with the rest of the group, Harper, you are.
What I downloaded.
You are plugged. Well, no. You have to give me a roll, please.
Oh, okay. What am I rolling? What am I doing?
Okay, you are giving me an intellect check.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you attempting to get from him?
Mm-hmm. So he said there was something classified to do with like what they were searching for, what they found. I want that, and I kind of want like the logs of exactly what went down, how everything, like, because this is what he's telling us, but I want to know exactly, like.
You just want to confirm the statement. You want to sort of say right, okay, yeah.
And to have like a data record of it, so like maybe to save on like megabits. I don't want like the video exactly, but just like the record.
Just research logs.
I mean, you probably have it. I wouldn't say it. You're not on floppy disk. It'll probably be in that, depending on your role, depending on how much you get.
I'm on mini discs.
It could be like a 360p video. It'd be fine. Like...
Okay, great. Tiny little video. It's from an iPod Nano.
Yeah. Oh no!
It's tiny footage.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay. So with that in mind, I would say give me an intellect roll.
Okay. Can I use my computers and hacking?
I would say use your hacking.
Okay. So that is an expert skill, which means I get 15 bonus on my intellect. So that is 67.
Okay.
I want to roll.
Plugging into him is slightly different than doing it than just a computer terminal, which is why I've taken that one away. So.
Oh, 65!
Wow.
It was tricky. It was a hard one.
It is it's not, and Harper certainly goes quiet. They both just sort of they go quiet for a good amount of time. Even though like his systems have essentially opened up access to a lot of things, you're searching for something else as well. Jackal, you're taking workbench to the comms tower.
No, I think Lucky was going with.
Or Lucky's going with
yeah.
workbench. Okay. And you certainly make your way. We'll cut back to what Harper discovers in a minute. You certainly make your way, and workbench is just a little bit. So he's like, "Hey man, I just want to. I'm sorry for losing my shit with you earlier. Just this whole fucking this is fucked up."
Yeah. It's fucked up, but you know, our luck is gonna change.
Yeah. Yeah. You got my back, right?
Oh yeah.
Watch yourself, because there's some real icky shit around here. As he sort of leads
Have I seen the icky shit before?
You haven't seen. This is where
right. Yeah.
Vig, this is the first time you see some remnants of a human. There's a little the only real sign that someone was there, and loads of this ichor as well, and it does sort of smell. And he's like, "No, whatever you do, don't smell it, man. Just don't." It's just not a good idea.
Is it from them?
I don't. Well, I guess so. It's all I know is there's no fucking blood, and that freaks me the fuck out. So I don't want to be a fucking ready meal for these things. So
let's just get some radio then.
Yeah, and you see him as soon as he gets up to the comms tower. It is a little bit of a walk up some steps, but he immediately starts like booting in things, and he takes off his pack, and you see like more screens like sort of, and he can actually sort of connect things as he gets to work, trying to sort of, you know, he's fixing, you see him twiddling with dials and fixing some things. He's like, I think it's gonna be tricky. I'm gonna need your help with this. I'm gonna need you to. Some of the panels are over there, I think. I'm going to need you to activate a couple of things for me.
Sure, just let me know.
Yep. Okay. Okay, I think I need to boost this signal, so on my mark, I need you to hit that, that switch there. Just hit that. On 3, 2.
So is it going to be on 1 or on...
It'll be 3, 2, 1 mark. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Make a speed check for me, please.
Will my military training help me?
No.
Or my athletics?
You're just trying to time this, but you're a little bit baked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wearing off a little bit. We're now down to, there's only a couple
Hopefully
of hours
it's
left.
oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. So I'm trying to get below a 32. And that one was, oh, no. So it's either a 53 or an 86. So double fail.
Gather a point of stress, and Workbench is like, oh fuck, man, just watch what I'm doing when I do it, and it'll take a little while, but
what does stim packs do?
Stim packs, well, they might clear you up. I just wanted to look. Yeah, stim packs, which for those in the know, are something that people can take if they're injured, but there are have too many and you could become addicted. But a stim pack, it cures cryo sickness. So normally, like when you've been cryo sleep, that's what they take. So this could work. This could help in your favor.
This could counteract. This could be the upper to counteract the downer.
Yeah, it restores 1d10 health normally. Grants advantage to strength and combat for 2d10 minutes. There's a danger of addiction and or overdosed if used frequently. But it does pass through your mind because it's just a shot of like just adrenaline. This might be the thing that could clear you up. You're a little bit foggy.
But it's not currently, it wouldn't help with my speed.
No.
But I wouldn't necessarily know that.
But it may, whether it'll wipe out the side effects.
Do you know what? Just give me a minute.
What the fuck, man?
Oh.
So, roll me 2d10, please, Lizzie.
That's 9 and 7, 16.
So for 16 minutes, you're buzzing. Yeah, dudum, dudum, dudum. Yeah, and it has cleared. You're no longer on disadvantage.
Oh, okay,
But
let's
you
do
are
it. Fast.
Ooh, the Dolby
Ooh,
sound,
really
surround sound is. The lights are a little bit brighter in here than you remember.
Your teeth chattering.
Okay.
Oh, my teeth are dancing.
Yeah, well, quit the dancing and just switch on the fucking switch.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do the check. I'm not going to do that all night. Yeah. And it powers stuff up, and you see him begin getting a message out. Okay.
Oh.
Back with Harper.
Oh, hello.
You get through some firewalls. You come up against some firewalls. You get the basic information. Like there's a lot of information that is sort of backups of the staff, and you get the full lineup. You don't necessarily get, for instance, all the doctors' info. This is some of it is patient doctor confidentiality and stuff. But certainly there you download all the stuff that was worked on, whether it be like the geology, the botany, just all of, and you're filtering through it like just, and it's like I say, this has taken a little while. Jackal, you watch them and they go quiet for a little bit, and then eventually you bump up against some firewalls. But you manage to cut through them, make some shortcuts. By doing so, you do discover he hasn't lied. Lied is the wrong word. Oh, we just lost. We just lost Sarah, and she just changed spot on the screen.
Sorry.
But I'm going to keep going because I'm not going to change it yet. I'm going to change it in a minute. Right.
I think I heard up till geological things.
So there's lots of like the research things. You know, and there's lots of, you know, samples, rock formations. There's lots of scientific data that they have collated and possible research they were doing that he has sort of access to, general files. You come up against a firewall and you sort of navigate it, and then you see a little bit more about another project they were working on. Specifically, one that Dr. Karloff was working. They were, I'm going to give you the shorthand version of this, but in exploring some of the recent area, he came across what he thought might be the remnants of some ruin. Just a very small, he was convinced there was a ruin. They saw some rocks, unidentified sort of rocks, and they seemed to be in a certain pattern. A strange pattern. But when they worked together and they had some basic drones sort of take some shots, and he spent a lot of time trying to convince people that they need to clear this area, they need to get to it, something important might be there. He just had a sense. This led to the use of explosives on this site. There were some planned detonated charges that created a crater, revealing it destroyed some of the plants and fauna in the area, much to the chagrin of LaRue, the botanist. He was very much against this. But there seemed to be, there was more. There were definitely, and this wasn't an entire temple, but there were definitely remains of a site. Once it was, they removed some of the detritus and they cleaned the site out. There were these strange stone formations. And upon discovering a bit more, and he took some of the samples, there was one thing he found upon the site that he was very interested in. In amongst some of the rubble, he found like a very smooth rock. It was almost like a small obelisk in some ways, probably about no more than 40 centimeters in height, and seemed to be, cube is the wrong word, but it looked very sort of, had that sort of strange structure. It was very smooth as well. Didn't stand out. It stuck out from everything else because there didn't seem to be any kind of rocks that related to that. And you see some footage of him talking about this in the discovery, and he's talking to the rest of the staff. There's heated debates about this, that he shouldn't have done this. You get the sense that maybe he went around some things to do this, and he became to be a bit obsessed, and he started, like Isaac noticed that he started making notes. Isaac didn't see the notes that he was making, but he became definitely more obsessed. And he brought the rock back. He brought some of these rocks back, and specifically this mini pillar. And he was doing tests on it. Like he was checking it, testing it. And around that time, the staff more increasingly, they started to sleep. They noticed there was a pattern where the staff, Isaac picked up that people were starting to sleep badly. Their sleep patterns were off. This is most noticeable in Dr. Karloff, who became more and more obsessed. He retreated some ways from the rest of the group, and he was just stuck in his... so much so that he even blocked Isaac off from what he was doing. But Isaac tried to see whatever he could. But Karloff also... he didn't necessarily do everything in computer. There was some days you see like footage of almost from Isaac's eyes where he sees Karloff he's got the notebook in his sort of lap, and he's just sat there, and you see in this lab there is this pillar. It's in a room. It's not just free everywhere. It's sort of like in a sort of observation chamber, and he's just looking at it. Karloff's just looking at it. One of the things, Isaac goes back to the site, and you notice that the weather is starting to turn, and he sees back at this site, amongst all the rubble and some of the stuff that's been pulled apart, there are these strange holes at some point. There, you could almost, you piece together that could these be like burrow holes that have been revealed. Isaac is very alarmed by this. And he goes back to try and convince everyone that something needs to be done. And the storm starts. And then the wall to the solar panel chamber is damaged. Badly damaged. Lots of things are kicking off. And Isaac is slightly distracted. He doesn't... And everyone's sort of trying to fix this. And they're not looking at what Isaac's talking about. And then everything begins. And you do sort of see as he described it. But it's strange when he's describing it. It's not like he's watching it. It's not like he's following these things. He was literally... He tried to get... Like... The station commander was badly injured at one point because Isaac was watching a lot of it on an observation deck with lots of screens. And as you could see, as two of the staff and Blake, who was the station cook and also the maintenance man, mechanic and things like that, he was out fixing. And you see the footage, the solar panels. There's like the large smash, and you can see him in the distance, like they're moving stuff out, and then something just jump on Cook, and Paxton's trying to get him, and then Paxton gets really hurt, and he's backing away, and you see something there. There's no sound as such. There's a distant sound, almost like you can hear the screams in the distance, which is really odd looking at the screen as well, seeing that. And then you're seeing, as he's very much, he got Paxton to safety, he got them in. The doctor wanted to help Paxton more. He went off, and it very much, as he said, it all played out. But I mean, Harper's pretty switched on. You know, she's pretty calm through all this, so she's just observing this. If a human being was watching all these bits happening, it might be a bit, fucking hell, this is a nightmare happening in front of us. Because Isaac's also, to get a good view of what is actually happening, he's going to this observation deck and he's watching the cameras, trying to think, where are these things? Everywhere. Like I say, he couldn't see the maintenance, so he didn't know one was there. So he shut everything down. And then, like, the storm hit and completely cut everything off. But this time you see it in your own eyes. It's a strange feeling for Harper. You see the moment where he's trying to get this thing comes in and goes for him. And he sort of moves, he's moving out of the way, but he's not fast enough. And this thing catches him and sort of skids into the water and hygiene station. And like where it catches him, it caught him in one, and he had his hand up, and as he did so, it took his hand, it completely gashed him across, and then just slid into the water and hygiene station. He just managed to shut it and put a lock on it. But then he realised, he can't do it without the hand as well. It's making everything really difficult. He couldn't really communicate anymore. And he just sat, and he knew the message had gone out for help because the radio operator Freeman had gone up when everything was kicking off, when the storms were kicking off. That's when they realised this is bad. We're gonna have to get off here. Something weird's going on. Freeman went on to do that, and then he disappeared. But Freeman never returned, and he got taken out, and his body was taken out. So pretty much most of them, except 3, were killed. But
so the 3 that are remaining, who is remaining?
As far as you know, Paxton, the station commander. LaRue, who's the botanist, who had a real problem with Karloff, but and Margot Chen, who was the biologist. She was the head biologist.
Okay. And does he know where those weird rocks are now? If Karloff
they were
back with him.
They were off to the east. The whole site was definitely. I can take you to the Austilis map just briefly. If we just take it there.
So he didn't take it back to the. Did he take the rock? He took the rock back with him, didn't he?
Karloff took the rock back. That pillar is here now. But the actual spot, if you look on the map, it's in that kind of position. It was just off to the east.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of southeast kind of direction.
And who has Karloff's diary at the moment? Is it you, Lucky?
I thought I had it. I took it off.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
because you grabbed it off of Lucky, and then you have it now.
Yeah, but I didn't look at it. I just shut it and filed it away.
Okay.
In my robot backpack. I don't know. I just shoved it somewhere.
Yeah.
In my pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to get my hands on it, but I don't know it exists.
And also,
Okay.
and also,
The book.
Jackal. I would also say, Jackal, you don't know any of this.
I know.
Yeah, Harper's just there. And you can, as you're searching for more of it, you see things just start glitching out and degrading a little bit, Harper, and you can tell you need to get out soon because his systems are starting to shut down.
Sleep now, sweet
Yeah.
prince.
and you sort of you remove yourself, and he just sort of looks over at you, and he's sort of slumped down on the side as well as you just, his eyes sort of lock with yours, and he's like, you have to save them.
I will.
I don't think I can stand anymore. I don't. And then he starts sort of talking, and you can see he starts speaking in other languages. Like his systems, like there's Spanish that comes out. He's saying things like, it's really sort of. I feel like my systems were under more stress than I realised.
Don't put them under any more stress.
Very well. Is there anything else you need?
I don't think so. You've done really well to get this far.
As you know, we are just doing our job. And as he's talking to you, Harper, he's looking you in the eye. He has no idea what you've. He has no idea that you've found that stuff out.
And I will say nothing.
Yeah. Jackal, you're watching this android just slumped there. Androids don't die, but he seems like he's whatever he was doing, he's off. Yeah, he's running low.
Oh, so he's not completely gone yet.
He's not completely gone, but he can't stand.
Oh, okay. Isaac.
Yes.
I think this might be your termination. I don't think we can take you with us. I think you might be kind of out of commission here.
That is understandable. The cost to repair this alone would be astronomical.
I mean, I don't know if it's just that you're the most humanoid thing we've encountered in like 4 days, but for what it's worth, I'm sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for.
It does seem rather wasteful to leave you here. I myself am built from several of the robots. Androids, sorry. Several other androids that have been decommissioned.
Well, perhaps when everyone is safe, then you could find my shell and repurpose it.
Sounds worthwhile to me.
He's just looking at your kind of. It's an odd scene to see this android just falling apart in front of you.
Okay, I think we're gonna go and rescue the survivors.
Androids just being weirding everyone out, like.
It's
I mean, it's just me. Oh no, it's High Noon and
yeah, and
Tank
she's
there,
like,
yeah.
And she says to you, Jackal, is this hard? I feel kind of sad.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think I want to think about it anymore. Tank, how you doing?
I'm fine. Let's just get the fuck off of this rock. Where the hell is fucking...
Can you move? How's your leg?
Yeah, I'm fine. I got my gun. That's fine.
Okay, that's all that matters to you. I know. So, let's get moving. Let's get these survivors. Come on, I want to get the hell out of here.
And Harper,
Can I?
there's a moment.
Yeah, sorry.
where-
Can I just message to
Yeah.
Workbench? Be like, workbench. How are we doing? Communications.
Yeah, I think I've got something. I'll be able to give me 5 more minutes. I think I'll be able to get a ship in to pick us up as long as this storm holds off.
Okay, perfect. I would contact. I don't contact Vig because I don't want to make noise on his communicator.
Okay. Okay. Harper, you hear a voice like as you're looking at the rest of the group. Yeah, Harper. And you turn back, and Isaac's looking at you. As odd as it may sound, I would appreciate it if you I do not think I will be any more use to you right now. If you were to deactivate me for the time being,
Of course.
you should have all of the access codes and outpost information you need. Yes?
I believe so. I have, haven't I?
Yeah. You got everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
You didn't get the doctor's files, like I said, but there's a lot of
Okay.
what he knew. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So is there
There's
just
a
like
lot of information, by the way, that they've been researching for a long time.
Sweet. Okay.
Space plants.
Space plants. I always wanted you to go. Right. Is it a simple thing to just deactivate him?
Yeah,
now?
you would know. You would know. You can do that.
And for some reason, Harper doesn't really herself understand why, but as she deactivates him, she holds his hand. Like Emma's leaning
It's
over.
a precious moment.
Yeah,
Aw.
humans really are strange creatures, aren't they? She
Mm, yeah. Yes, I've never quite understood them. His eyes don't shut, but they're
Yeah.
literally the light somewhere in his head.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay. Without missing a beat, really, she's gonna stand up and check the computer. We need those files from the doctor, man.
Okay. Harper
Where it's
immediately
gonna
gets
be?
up and walks
Yeah.
into the doctor's office, and Heinen's like, "What the hell? Are we getting Harper? What are we getting off this rock or not?" Meanwhile, back in the communication center, Workbench has gotten in touch with the larger armada vessel outside. Lizzie's gonna make a roll.
Ooh.
He Workbench, nervous as he is, talks about how you need to pick up their needs, but the message he gets through is the storm's pretty bad. There's only a certain amount of places they can do it for a dropship to actually sort of land safely.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay.
Lizzie, could you give me two D5 rolls, please?
Last time I rolled for NPCs, they all died.
You're sort of rolling for the scene here.
Rolling for the scene. That's obviously going to work, isn't it?
No pressure.
Don't worry. don't worry. Don't worry.
I'm not sure there's any scenario where double one is good.
Okay.
Oh.
So you got okay. So there's only one spot they can do it. Right.
Grand.
On the map, if you look, Lizzie,
I mean, ones normally are very good.
you will see to the top
Oh,
There,
Ooh,
Oh
there
no!
is a point.
Oh, right.
There's a point where you're going to have to trek up.
That's a high point.
That's a high point.
Oh.
But you're going to have to... Yeah, that's journey there. It's not one of the longer ones. In fact...
No, but for some reason I don't like the idea of
It's-
climbing.
It's 5k. It's 5 kilometers away. But the top of this mount is flat. And that's where the dropship... Another Sky Talon can come in to get you. They're sending another one.
yay.
And it's going to be there, but it's going to take a little while for it to drop into atmosphere. I say a little while. It'll be there in the next... Roll me a d10, Lizzie. Don't look at me like that, Lizzie. You know what I do.
3.
Okay.
I thought my dice was just going to go, ha, roll high this time.
It can be there in the next 3 hours.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh.
But with that in mind, it is going to be a bit of a trek, and you're going to have to move quick.
Unless we have a
While,
vehicle.
while Workbench is doing radio stuff,
Yeah.
Lucky is gonna have a little look at the oogle bleh,
Yeah.
on the floor
Yeah.
And
and
sniff it, right? Yeah, totally.
basically rub some of it on his clothes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Maybe not, just kind of
Yeah. Just
not hiding what he's doing from Workbench, but
Not in a weird way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah, not in a weird way,
Yeah, it's like,
but just kind of a little bit
yeah.
like
And Workbench he's obviously doing something. He gives you a funny look, and
Gently.
then-
And if there is a way, if I don't know if the comm tower has like a ladder or a little outdoor bit or a roof, just to kind of have a little look
Yeah.
around.
I would say that there is a sort of like a small gangway around the top.
Yeah, maybe just get my smart rifle and just kind of use the sights just to have a little
Okay.
look at what's going on outside.
As you do so, the rain's still coming down, and you're looking around. You can definitely see movement in the trees. You see occasionally darting around,
Okay.
and your eyes caught at one point. It's not near the front where the workshop is, but it's definitely some of those creatures working. They seem to be moving around towards the side of the place. Maybe. Where's that? Is that the water silo? Is that the solar panels? Why are they going to? They seem to be heading towards where the solar panels are. And you see a couple of them sort of move in, before, but they're staying close to the outskirts.
Mhm.
But while this is happening, you can see other movement in the trees.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If the rain has washed off all of the ook, I might just apply some more ook.
Yeah. You do notice that the rain it's stopped. It's not as bad as it was. It's still raining, but it's not torrential.
Yeah.
And there's no lightning, for one thing. You do notice that the lightning stopped.
I'm just going to hang out up there until Workbench says we're done,
Yeah.
and then I'll come back
And
down.
that happens pretty shortly afterwards.
Okay.
While this is happening, Vig.
Okay, so I'm singing still, but it's a lot quieter now. So like, flying saucer attack. I'll never come back. There is hope.
Make me another intellect check.
Okay, so same restrictions.
Same roll, yeah. Same.
Am I still high?
Yeah. I'm playing a little fast and loose with time. We're not necessarily doing it minute by minute, but
Okay.
But he didn't have a stim pack.
Mm.
I got 22.
22. Is that with disadvantage?
That is my first roll. So I have to do another one, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. Oh, crap. I got 56.
And what were you aiming for?
Oh, 56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that might have been the case. Whew, that's a success.
Yeah, that is a success. It's an awkward success. It's not going to be immediate, but you're not going to have to make any more rolls for it. You're working, and you're pretty sure you can get this thing. This thing's going to be up and running in about the next hour. It's not as bad as you thought it was. You know. So, but he stays quiet. He's quite chuffed with himself. Maybe he's high. I don't know.
Check in with the gang, make sure everything's okay. Let them know we could be there in the next hour or so.
Yeah, it'll be in the next hour. I reckon. You think it's going to be ready?
I'll report back whatever we've learned, including
There are things.
scary things.
outside.
There are things.
Oh my, perfect. So what, we have not only a pickup spot, but now a vehicle to get to that pickup spot as well.
Yeah, we should be ready within the hour.
Okay, we need to go and get those survivors ASAP.
Maybe you could send some help down here to give me a hand.
Like the rest of the Marines look at Jackal like,
guys.
I promise not to scare them.
Like, who could?
Tank just goes, I'll go.
Thank you, boy.
God bless you, Tank.
as he heads off. And shortly afterwards, Lucky but Harper has gone straight into the doctor's office, and you're plugged in, aren't you, Harper?
Get as much as I can.
Yeah. Give me another check. Give me another intellect check. This time computers and hacking, because you're going directly in. This isn't going to be with advantage, but
Is that going to be the trained skills and expert skills?
yes,
plus
I will allow
25,
computers
right?
and hacking. Yeah.
Okay. So that is 77.
77. Ooh.
84.
Get a point of stress,
Ah, great.
and there's a point where you're like,
Another black?
you're trying to plug in, and it's not working. These files are being corrupted, seemingly. All the medical history of this place, especially in this, and you notice when you look on the other side that part of the terminal, something smacked into it, so maybe that didn't help when you were trying to do it. So
It's not worth another go, is it, really?
no.
Can
You
I see any
know.
paper files?
You know that High Noon. You tasked High Noon to get some paper files. She's got some. She put some in a backpack.
We have his journal, don't we? Do I see the rock?
Not here.
No.
No. This is the physician's office. So
Probably will be in the living quarters then. I imagine he slept with it.
yeah. Well, the last thing you saw? It was in the lab dome. It was in an observation booth.
Right. Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
It was
the kind
definitely
of-
being studied. He just seemed
Yeah.
to study it even when he should have been sleeping.
Okay. Sweet.
And you also know that he's not alive anymore. So
They're heading towards the dome anyway, so I
Yeah.
can just make sure none of the humans start obsessing over it. Okay. Sweet.
Where's Harper going? I want to see where Harper's going.
okay. So Harper, are you?
She's just gonna stride out. Like,
Yeah, she's striding out. So everyone, a tank eventually meets Vig. He's like, "How we looking, Curly?" I think you're on mute.
Sorry, I had to unmute my mic. Hey, big fella, I could use a little help around here to tidy some things up. Get this rig up and running as quick as we can.
Fine, just tell me what to fucking do.
Okay.
and he begins helping you out, Vig. Meanwhile, the rest of the group have reunited. And
Lucky is gonna kind of go, look, I think I can be useful up here watching.
Hey,
you
yeah,
want to go
see
back
this-
up to the comms tower, man?
Yeah.
Could you see the solar panel section from up there?
Kinda, yeah.
Because that's where they said the breach was.
And you think
Okay.
back, you saw them disappear, but of course you saw like the top of the roof. You saw them moving around there.
I mean, is that kind of near where we put the power on?
Solar panels is next to the power station, yeah.
Yeah, they're going. I think they're going there.
Okay, well, we need to get to the laboratory dome.
Is it worth locking the doors to the solar panels first?
Solar panels already
Do we
locked.
have
He's already locked.
Oh,
them.
they're already locked.
Yeah, I think
Alright,
the only doors that remain locked are the ones that were locked when you first got in here. Water and hygiene station, of which you know why that's locked now, and the solar panel station. They were locked when you first arrived.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want to stay up there, Lucky, you stay up there. Anybody who wants to come to the dome with me, come with me.
I'll let you know if they go anywhere else.
Perfect.
Before we head to the dome, I just want to give everyone a heads up that there may be a containment breach of some sort. If you see any kind of smooth rock shapes, don't touch them, don't look at them. This is data that I got from Isaac. Just let me know and I'll...
Smooth rock shapes.
Yeah, it's kind of like... She's going to gesture with her hands
Yeah.
to say what it's like. I
Will
don't
it
know
be-
what they are. I don't
Will
know
it
where
be
they...
obvious if I see it?
If you see it and you feel a little bit strange, tell me. I will take it and dispose of it.
Okay.
If you don't see it, then it's not a problem. I wouldn't think.
Okay. I'm just a little curious as to why you're bringing it up if it's not a problem, but
Well, there may be one in the dome. The previous doctor was studying it, and it seemed to have some detrimental effect on his mental health. That's as much as I know. I can't tell you any. I didn't glean any more information than that. So please
Wow.
just give it a wide berth.
okay, I'll take your word for it, Harper. Thank you for the warning.
You're very welcome.
Move on to the dome.
I don't know how else to put that.
No, to the dome.
Find out more in the Crystal Dome.
Okay, so you begin heading forth, and there's several doors to this dome now that you see this. You don't need to head back towards the maintenance workshop in order to see it, but you do see now the trail of android blood that was leading all the way to the offices. And certainly you can follow that if you wish to where Isaac left from, or you can take another door. There's small markers on the map right now where the doors are.
I just want to take the closest door.
Okay, yeah. So you're taking the closest door, and when you
Yeah.
when you enter this this place, you see this dome is massive. This is the hub to the entire place, and it is high. And there is one thing of note: there's a large tree in the middle of it, which almost acts as like a centerpiece, as there's lots of different... It's almost like they've built up this dome around something, like a small garden with a tree, like they can genuinely observe it literally in front of them as well. But it's also, there's a sheet of sort of glass like protecting it as well, so it can't contaminate everything. There are different offices. There's all kinds of... you see pipettes, vortexes, benchtop centrifuges, all of this like proper like this is super advanced equipment. This is AD Vance equipment. There's small rooms like a tissue culture room. You see computer bases with lots of different things. There's rooms with like special safety equipment. You do notice some of the equipment at some points is pretty smashed, and it's sort of heading towards the sort of northern side of this lab dome, like something barreled through it, heading somewhere. And where'd you go? I mean, it's sort of sectioned off. There's lots of different sort of rooms with, you know, you can't necessarily see exactly what's being studied at this moment in time, but you do see a wall of screens as well. You do see the screen, the observation deck that Isaac was talking about.
Okay. No, it's okay. I was just gonna say I'm just looking for the vault. I'm happy for anybody else to go off and do anything else.
Okay.
Jackal is just looking for the vault.
Okay. And Harper, you can point him. That's towards the back, the northern side of this lab dome. There is like a sample storage vault, which is massive. This is a big. You know, this station was set up here for a long time. There is another one that's sort of refrigerated as well, but you know that's not the one that he put them in. He didn't put them in a freezer.
Fridge.
Yeah, he didn't put them in the fridge. But yeah, you can head towards that, Jackal. You do notice when you get there, like you see more smashed equipment, and you do see towards the back of the lab a lot of android blood and a lot of smashed equipment. Therefore, you know, after what Isaac said, and you come to this sample storage vault, and it's locked. It's currently locked. So while Jackal's doing that, what is everyone else doing?
Can I see the mysterious rock from Isaac's memories?
Yes, you would know where to go. It's slightly more towards the eastern side of the lab dome, and certainly there are there's certain like containers that have like different. There's lots of different rocks from the area, and they're certainly marked up with all kinds of scientific notes about the degradation, the composition of them. Some of them are a little odd, and there's some slight carvings in some of them. This is rubble, most of it, but it's all leading towards you spot like an observation room, this chamber, which now that the lights are on properly, there's almost like an eerie blue light underneath. I mean, it's quite a big room, really. But the only thing that's on sort of sat on a sort of plinth is a black pillar about 40 centimeters high.
Okay. Can I see if there's any kind of in D&D? I'd say, can I look for traps? Can I sense magic? Like, does it look as if there's any kind of security around it? Like, am I gonna pick this up and everything's gonna?
No. I mean, the room the door to that chamber is locked.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I open the lock?
You can make a
Do Is it obviously in my eye line?
You can see it. I mean, it's a fairly open plan. There are certain bits that are locked away, but I would say
if I'm looking around for the vault, would I?
You see the vault and you think, right, Harper's got to unlock it. Where's Harper? And you sort of turn around and you can see her sort of stood a bit further away as she goes into a sort of side office.
Okay.
Office is
Harper.
the wrong word, but
Can I go? I want to go and walk up to Harper and join Harper and be like, "What's going on? What you looking at?" And see the rock.
You see the rock? Make a sanity save.
Shit! I told you not to look at the rock.
I've been trying to look at that rock for an hour.
Not to look at the rock. Can't stop the rock.
Oh no. 63 over 50.
Take a point of stress.
Okay then.
And you stare at this thing, and like, as you're staring at it, and Harper begins talking to you. I don't know what Harper says, but all of a sudden, her words are almost like muffled out, like you've just put your hands over your ears. As you're just staring at this thing, like, the fuck is that? And you focus on it, and then it's almost like the light in the room sorts to darken somewhat. As it does so, you see strange carvings begin to appear on this obelisk. Could you make me a panic check, please?
Oh. Wait, I'm panicking. What's the panic check? It's the D20.
Whatever your current stress is, you have to roll over it.
That's right. I didn't.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 10. My stress is 11. Literally just went up to 11.
Are you a scientist? You're a
Yeah.
scientist, right? Yes, we all get. Nearby friendly players all gain 1 stress.
That's just you. You're the only one that's
Just
nearby.
you.
Yeah, you get 1 stress. You get 1 stress. Another wonderful thing about this is...
Hey, do you know how many fear saves you've given me disadvantage on Android?
this one was a sanity save. Did you take... Did you do your sanity save with disadvantage? You don't get disadvantage on a sanity save.
No, that's on fear saves.
Oh, right, okay. Just wanted to make sure I was doing it legal. However, you are doomed. you have a new condition. You feel cursed and unlucky. All critical successes now become critical failures.
Holy shit, that's bad.
There is a wave of dread overcomes you. You can't fathom what it is, but you just think, this is bad, this is bad. We have to get out of here. We have to get away from that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Something snaps in you.
Can I step?
And then
Fuck
Harper's
is
voice.
that?
Yeah, Harper's voice is back in the room. Then
Harper,
you notice
what
him
the
sort of like go.
Fuck is that thing?
I'm gonna step in between your eye line, between you and the stone, and I'm gonna put my hands on your shoulders, and I'm just gonna say, what am I gonna say?
And you see in his eyes. You see in his eyes. His eyes are twitching a little bit, like he's freaked out. But does he want to look around you at the same time? Even though he looks like he doesn't want to look around you.
First time, I'm gonna call you Jackal. You need to be strong. I need you to go and stand by the door of the water and hygiene station with your back to this. Do not look back at this. Don't look at it. And I will join you in a few moments. Can you do that?
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay.
She's being very calm and
Okay.
telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Love that Matt's gone for a comfort animal.
Sure.
much.
Poor Matt's been in that fucking workshop all bloody game.
I'm gonna stay within your eye line of the rock
Okay. I'm just gonna
until you turn
at
your
the
back
wall.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
still think about that rock though.
yeah.
Is the robot gonna keep us appraised of what's going on?
I don't know, am I?
I don't know. Are you?
Can I make a social call on my communicator? What's happening?
Yeah.
Hey, robot. Are you okay?
What is your... So you are... I'm having a massive brain fart.
Vigorous blouse.
No. I need to look up. So you're corporal. Okay. Corporal Archer is indisposed at the moment. He'll be fine. We will. She's not good at this.
Robot, what's going on? Talk to me in plain basic. Come on.
I am trying to do that. We're standing by where the survivors are. Once we have rendezvoused with the survivors, we'll be on our way to you. Please hold tight.
Robot, you're really not telling me anything.
Make a panic check, please, Vig.
No! I tried!
It's
Below
because you
or
were so
above?
fucking calm about that.
On the floor.
You got to get above your stress. You were so calm about it. It's the fact that you were like, hold tight, everything's going to be fine.
I said it with a
This is like
smile.
Han Solo on the mic in.
Yeah.
We're okay here. How are you?
Boring conversation anyway.
Okay.
Look, Harper has read in a book that apparently humans like it when you smile when you talk, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, a few hours before he saw one of his best friends have a tree impale through them. So it's going to be fine. Just whatever your stress is, Matt, roll me a d20. You got to roll over it.
We'll roll over. Okay, hang on. No, Christ. Is this the big round one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What's your current stress level?
I think it's 11, or it might be 12.
Okay. You got to get above that.
I'm so
I
sorry.
got 2. I got a 2. I got a 2.
Jesus.
Oh,
Oh dear.
you're anxious, so you just gain 1 stress.
Okay, so my
But
stress
that
is
makes
on
that
for-
makes sense. You're fairly anxious the way Harper's.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's really. I just don't know what it is. I'm so sorry.
So yeah. So you gain 1 stress.
Okay.
A little disconcerting, but the android seems to be pretty confident. and Tank's like sort of he was just fixing things up and making sure that the trailer was sort of jacked up as well.
Yeah. Get some air in those tires, Tank.
Yeah, fuck you, man. Looking at this thing, how many people can we get in this?
We got 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 4 in the trailer.
Okay, well let's hope that not many of those white coats survived.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Oh, shit.
What the fuck was that? There's a sound. A bit further down the corridor. The fuck?
You think it's one of the monsters?
It's either that or everyone's falling on their ass really fucking loudly.
Where's the sound coming from?
It's kind of coming from the direction past the power station. Near the solar panels.
Oh, crud. The solar panels are locked to us, though, right?
They're locked, yeah.
So there could be something beyond. Can I let the team know via my comm?
Yep. Yeah, Vig lets everyone know that something's making noise. In the house.
Coming from inside the house.
Okay, that's fine. I just take the communicator and go, there's a stone.
What's a pot?
Lucky. You
Yeah.
hear this. Where are you? You're still in the comm tower, aren't you?
I'm kind of somewhere up the top of the
You're
comm
At
tower,
the top. You're away from.
looking around.
Yeah. You
Covered in
you would hear
monster
this
spit.
like some weird like JACKAL's babbling on about something as well. But you are yeah, you do have the stuff on. And
Cool.
you're seeing more of these things. Definitely, sort of more movement towards the solar panels. They're sort of trying in the other direction as well, like circling whatever this place is.
But are they all around the building, or are they more on the solar panel side?
More on the solar panel side. There's one. You probably see 2 bits of movement heading towards the other side, but most of the movement is on the other towards the solar panels.
Okay.
Um,
And how much time has passed since we sent the message and they said that the thing would be there in 3 hours?
It's been fairly. It hasn't been too long, so you've still got time. Probably 30 minutes.
Okay.
So, Harper, you told Jackal to head off, stare at a wall, a little bit Blair Witch. As he's
The
just
joke
mumbling,
corner.
"There's a stone," which is perfection. Harper, as you see him walk off, and you turn back and you look at the stone, you're there. What do you do?
I want to unlock the door, go in, and if I have like a bag or something, I just want to put the stone in a bag and zip it up so nobody has to look at it. And also, I'll
Robot
probably
backpack.
take it back. Yeah, put it in my robot backpack. Probably, I'm assuming this would be. She would probably think this is under her remit of taking back everything they studied.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. So yeah, you go in, and when you enter, you do notice there's the temperature change. It drops a little. You're not sure whether it's the temperature controlled chamber, or whether it's coming from wherever this thing is. But
Cool.
Harper has never seen an Indiana Jones movie. Putting that out there.
yeah.
No.
How are you handling this?
If I could get like a bag or a cloth and just like throw it over and like bundle it up and throw it in the bag, that's how I'm gonna do it. I don't want to like touch it directly.
You could probably, you have some stuff in your equipment. You could probably,
and with care, with a lot of care.
I mean, you could, whether there's, you don't necessarily have like you didn't come with camping equipment.
No.
But you probably have like a jacket in a bag and things like that. You could.
And I've got a little bit of rope, so I'll like cover it in a jacket, tie some rope around it, shove it in my bag.
Just shove it back in. And you do notice that even around the bag, I mean, as you wrap it, as you pick it up, cold. It is cold, which is strange.
Chilly. Okay. I'll have to tell Vig, so he can put his beers in here. It'll be very useful. Cool. And then I'm gonna go back to Jackal, and I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder, saying the rock has gone away now, and I'm gonna to try and calm him down. I'm just gonna silently pass him the book that I got at the beginning of Smut and be like, I've heard that humans like this. You will be fine. And then I'm gonna go in and lock the door.
Can you pass it to Jackal, who is like in a state of just like in the middle of it, just an eyebrow raise?
As you approach Jackal, and he's by the water and hygiene station, you hear the sounds of something absolutely losing its shit against the door of the water and hygiene station.
I don't think there are any surprises. Oh shit. There are no survivors.
In a vault.
The scientists are in the vault.
Harper, did you just say there are no survivors?
No, wait, sorry, they're in the vault. I thought they were in the water and hygiene station.
No.
No, they're
Sorry,
in the
I'm
vault.
confused.
Yeah, the water and hygiene station
Okay.
is where
Right.
something else is.
Okay, we need to get these survivors out of the vault very, very, very quickly. I will unlock the door to the vault.
Okay, you head up to the vault and just give me a hacking check, your traditional hacking check.
And also, Jackal, if you're up to it, please could you cover the door to the water and hygiene station? Thank you.
I just look at the door.
As you look at the door and a big bang happens, the slightest give.
Can I use my computer or is it just hacking?
Yeah, you can use computers.
Okay. So what am I aiming for? What am I doing? This is a hacking check, so what am I trying to hit under? My intellect, is it?
Yeah, as Harper's doing this, Jackal, are you by the water and hygiene station door, yeah?
I haven't moved.
You haven't moved.
No, I looked over to the door, that's all I did.
Okay, Harper's moved out of the distance, so this isn't with disadvantage.
Oh no.
But you got to give me a fear save.
A fear save.
As all of a sudden, as you're stood there, and the door gives a little more.
14. Well below.
Yeah, you don't panic, but you can see Something is smashing against this thing.
Harper, how fast do you think you can unlock that door?
What did you get on your roll, Harper?
I got 20. It's open.
Are you stood? Where were you stood when you opened this, Harper?
By the panels. So to the side of the door.
Okay, is anyone with you? No, the rest of the Marines were elsewhere. I would say you didn't say that you took really anyone else with you.
No. It's just me and Jackal.
Yeah.
As the door opens, there is a flash of something through the air.
Oh shit.
And you move. I would say make me a speed check, Harper.
Okay. Can I use my military training?
I will allow it for this.
Okay, thank you. Oh, thank fuck I did, because that is 50, and my speed was 42. So I'm literally 52. I've literally just done it.
The military training kicks in, and you lean back as a fire axe woof, swings right out. Clung, it hits the floor. You hear a voice going, "Ah!" And there's this sort of a fairly thin-looking human man in sort of like he's got sort of olive skin, but he looks like he hasn't slept in days. Fairly wild eyes. You know this to be LaRue. You immediately. He's like, "Ah, where are they? Where are they?"
Is he a doctor?
He's the botanist, yes.
He's Dr. LaRue.
Yeah.
Please come, Dr. LaRue. We are here to rescue you. Please make your way
What?
with speed to this door, and I'm gonna point to the door we came into. I'm just gonna go. Please move with speed. We will protect you. Thank you. We are,
While this is happening, while this has been happening, Vig and Tank had his shotgun out and was walking slightly down the corridor towards. The sounds kind of, they were, and then they stopped a bit. And Tank looks at you like, what the fuck? And then you hear like somewhere else from the direction of the lab dome, some commotion. Something's. The fuck?
Is the commotion what's just been happening, or is this a different commotion?
It's a different commotion. You were heading towards the solar panels, and that stopped. For some reason, that stopped. And just as you took a breath and Tank sort of lifted up his gun, that's when you heard the faint echoes of something hitting something hard. Kind of, I mean, where you are, it would be a bit further into the station, but you can tell that's coming from the direction.
So are we near like the power station?
You're nearest the power station, yeah, I would say, yeah.
Right. Is Tank with me? Yeah.
Yeah, Tank's with you.
Okay, I'm just gonna get on my comm and let the team know that I can hear monsters or something coming from the lab dome, southeast side of the lab dome.
Okay. And when you hear this, Lucky, you see some other shapes. The ones that were around their sort of left-hand side dart back around, and they head around. The last two that you saw head round to where the solar panels are.
So Lucky is going to climb over the gantry, let himself down probably onto kind of the roof of the building.
Okay.
And run towards the top left north west corner of the building.
The northwest. So are you heading
like living quarters?
More the living quarters side.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going.
Yeah. And you begin like climbing. The smart rifle's over the back and in the opposite direction of where these things were.
Yes.
Heading. You're heading in onto the other side.
Yes. I've got 5 kilometers, 3 hours. I know where I'm going. See ya.
Well, that's why they call him Lucky.
I'm gonna put a green square around you on my chart.
Okay, as Lucky and you, right, Harper, what are you doing? As you're saying to everyone, and you notice there's a woman with sort of dark hair, an Asian woman with dark hair. She looks pretty frazzled, and she's got like blood on her top. You know immediately it's not her blood. And you see another figure sort of like slumped in the corner, like badly bleeding, but he's still. She's like, God, are you here to save us? What the? And she notices the sounds, boom, as the door.
Vince, did the noises start when I picked up that rock? Yeah, they fucking did, didn't they? They fucking did. Okay. Shit. Right.
Harper. Pretty sure.
What's going on? What's going on? You've got really sort of panicked these
Okay.
two panicked people and a
Is
still
he alive?
figure. You check on him.
Yeah.
You can make. I would say you don't have. Just give me an intellect check with military training, just for the vitals, just to make sure. It's hard to really tell, and also it's quite dark in this space they've been in. You realise now they've been trapped in the dark for a couple of. They've been locked in the dark.
So wait, this was.
Intellect check.
Yeah, I failed.
with the
That's
military training.
77, and my intellect is 62, so that's a fail.
It's hard to tell that you can't get decent pulse. It's
Right.
you're not
okay.
quite sure whether he's alive or dead.
I'm gonna run over to Jackal and I'm gonna shake him. I'm gonna say, "These people need you. I need you to head to those doors and find the others." Right? Have you got it?
Wait, which doors and what others?
The ones that we came out of.
Yeah. So you're
I'm
gonna head
assuming
across.
we're gonna go regroup with everyone.
Oh, okay.
And you got the message from Vig that something else is kicking off.
Okay, can I try and at least snap out of it somewhat and contact the team? Lucky obviously won't care, but
You
can
don't
I
know
contact
that.
the
You
team
don't.
and
You
say-
haven't
No,
heard
I
from
know
him.
I don't know. I know I don't know that. Can I just contact the team and tell them all to meet me at that doorway, if possible?
Yeah. You can reconvene at that doorway.
Yeah.
Vince, is there any way to pass the data on that I've got? Can I upload it? Can I transfer it somehow? Because I basically have to make it in one piece for this data to go. I do.
There's no massive satellite uplink currently working.
Right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open.
It's up to you how you decide Harper's priorities right now. Because
Yeah.
I mean, Sarah and I know because we talked out of game about like the way that's Harper's, but how you
She's
prioritize.
gonna be. It's almost as like you can hear the gears turning because it's like, but this is the mission. This is the mission. But ultimately, there are humans in danger, so I think that's gonna take priority. So, as soon as are you guys off, Jackal? Are you guys heading to the door?
Yeah.
What door are we supposed to be meeting at?
It
The one
is
that we came the
Wait,
dome.
yeah.
So the bottom.
that one.
The one near the offices.
Right. Okay.
The one near
Yeah.
the offices. Yeah.
We have to pass the sounds to get there, right?
No, you don't. You don't have to. You can get away from the solar panel room. You don't. You'll be
but
all
isn't there
moving
something-
away from the sounds, essentially.
Isn't there something inside the Millennium Dome as well, though?
That's in the water and hygiene station, not too far from the rest of the group, to the north.
So there's nothing coming from actually within inside the dome that we just heard. Okay, so we're going that way. We're going to meet Jackal.
Okay.
Okay.
Workbench and High Noon are just following you, Jackal. As soon as you say, right, that's the military train's like, right, go. And High Noon certainly, like, she's grabbing the people who are just fear, just absolute fear. Especially when they can hear that noise, like boom, boom. I mean, it's in the distance a little bit now, but
Okay, can I just say, Vig, when you meet back up with Jackal, he's got huge bags under his eyes. Can I turn to? I sort of snap back into control mode, and I turn to the survivors and just be like, "I'm really sorry. This is really unorthodox. I know you're probably in very bad states right now. We are the rescue
Get us
party.
the fucking hell out of here!
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
I'm not gonna follow you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut the doors behind you. I'm gonna take the rock out of my bag, and I'm gonna put it in the vault, and I'm gonna hide in the laboratory dome, and I'm gonna wait for them to break in. So that when they go into the vault,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if my hypothesis is correct. Trial by fire.
Oh, and see if they go off
Go
the
into the
stove.
vault. I'll lock them in the vault.
Interesting.
Okay.
That is my plan.
Okay.
I may have just killed Harper, but
Have you
Well,
have you told us about this plan, or is
No.
this a secret plan?
The-
No, this has
everyone
just
else
happened all of a
is
sudden.
barreling out,
I'm
getting
gonna
out.
as soon as you're outside, I'll relay this to you.
Yeah. As just before,
Okay.
as everyone's going out, and probably, I mean, Sarah, you can say this. The door. Harper shuts the door behind you all, and you can see like through the cubbyhole, like there's
Yeah.
like a window there. She's on the other side.
yeah, Jackal hears the door shut and is like, yeah, okay, well,
Yeah.
not much I can do about that.
Bang!
Please make... Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're going. We gotta move. Let's find an exit and go.
The doors give in somewhat. You've only got a certain amount of time, Harper.
Right. I'm booking it. I'm throwing the bag in there,
Okay. As
and then I'm hiding wherever the.
you just launch it as it skids through.
Yeah. And then I'm going into the cold chamber.
You're going into the cold
The
vault.
cold
Yes.
chamber. Ooh.
Yeah.
The sample storage vault.
Yes.
It's
Going
locked.
in there. Oh shit! I'm hiding Mia there.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Won't they ignore you if you don't do anything to them?
Yes, exactly. So I just
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
stay.
yeah.
I don't have to hide that bad. I just have to like stay out
Stand
of
in a
the way.
corner.
Yeah.
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 You hear the
Put
tearing
a
of metal.
lampshade over your head.
The tearing of metal as the doors of the water and hygiene station are finally given in somewhat. And you see it. The snout of it. As Harper is in with this thing, the rest of you, where are you moving? Because you said Jackal. Shit, that's all we can do.
Are we heading to the workshop to get into the thing,
The vehicle.
which is fixed?
How many people? How many people are we?
8. We have 6 Marines, and we have 2 science guys.
I thought there were 3 survivors.
Oh wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we got 5 Marines. Harper's still in the thing. Lucky's missing, and we've got 3 people, but it's one of them very badly injured.
If you were moving quickly, the guy did not move quickly. He did not move.
Okay, yeah, he died tragically.
I
Like,
mean,
Vig leans in the corner, just like.
yeah,
Just to make sure.
he's dead.
Okay, then
He's
yeah,
not
we should.
dead already.
So-
He'll be dead soon.
Lucky's gonna radio down. Lucky's gonna
feel
radio
happy.
down and say, "Guys, they're onto me. Go without me. I'll hold them off as long as I can."
Keep it.
Fucking lucky, man. What a...
And what does Lucky do then?
Okay.
After saying that, as looking round, and you can see there doesn't seem to be anything around.
So, if I'm looking down from the top of the living quarters to the ground below, and it looks quiet, stealthily sort of drop off. I'm assuming it's quite a low building. Drop off and just get out in amongst the trees and the wood and do me makeup and start moving kind of north in a sort of arc up to the north and then across to the east towards where I know the drop point is.
Okay. As Lucky.
But I might occasionally just, I'm going to keep close enough that I can see if they start to come out in the vehicle.
I hate this
You know what I mean?
character.
Okay.
We have
So
time to
well
set a
thought
booby
out.
trap.
setting a booby trap, that's something you'll... I don't know. It's up to you. As everyone is moving towards the warehouse, you might have... Like, Viggs, you have to think on his feet.
Have we got like, has anybody got any grenades and as like a tripwire that we could set up across the solar panel exit to slow them
I
down?
have an oxygen tank.
Oh,
I want to shoot that.
I mean, okay, somebody put that oxygen tank in the way of the corridor, and while we get everybody into the car, we'll have like Tank or Horseface, whatever his name is, to stand in the doorway.
Horseface, yeah.
And shoot the oxygen tank if they break through.
Okay, so where are you planning to put this oxygen tank? It's all kicking off.
Right
I
on the
would
crossroads between
yeah.
the solar panels and power station. That kind of blocks all of those directions if anybody's going crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, if we were like in the vehicle, so that we could look back into that corridor from inside, from in the vehicle.
Who's
and shoot
doing
it
this?
as we're, like,
Who's doing this?
I'm driving.
You're
so that has to
driving.
be-
So you're trying to set that up, yeah?
Yeah. So yeah, Jackal, you can just leave that oxygen tank in the corridor as we're retreating, and then we'll
Okay.
get workbench by the door or something to put around in it if anything happens. Obviously, he
Okay.
jumps into the trailer if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Did you hear me say there was a stone?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, we should talk about this another time. We should talk about it another time. I put the oxygen tank down and then I go and
Yeah.
get back in the vehicle with the group.
You get in the vehicle.
Oh, somebody's got to open the door, haven't they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
This
Ah.
door, as I stated before, on the outside, it didn't have a digital panel. This might be more of a manual sort of door. There may be a way of doing it. So,
Oh, okay.
But someone may have to make a roll on it. But before we do that,
I'm in the driver's seat of this car. It doesn't make sense for me to get out.
no, yeah.
So
And you start it. You like press some buttons and get things going and like.
come on. Right. Come on. That's better. That's better. More of that.
It's like, get us out of here! And meanwhile, in the lab dome, the door is peeled up enough until a large reptilian-like, tiger-like creature with matted hair. Part of it you can see in its hair there is white, there's pale milky ichor on part of its claws and its part of its furs. And from where you are hidden, Harper, because I presumed you just found a decent hiding spot. You know, this place is full of. There's no. It's not like you'd have to look hard. Once you made the move, you sort of hid, and you just watched, and this thing. And it's just sort of looking around. There's at one point, it sort of sniffs down towards like the patch of android blood on the floor. It looks like it doesn't like it. As it looks around, it sort of clocks you for a moment, Harper. And then it looks elsewhere. And it begins heading towards that cold storage chamber where you threw where you threw the rock.
No, I thought I was throwing it into the vault.
The vault, yeah, the cold vault, yeah.
Yeah.
You threw it in there. Was it the cold chamber or was it the vault where
It
the
was
people
not the
were?
cold chamber.
Yeah. It was
was
the
what?
vault where the people were, yeah? Just-
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, because that was
Okay.
the one that was open.
Which makes even more sense because
Yeah.
as it sort of looks, it sort of turns, looks in there. It starts moving towards it. And you can see, like, in the distance, there's just a still figure
Oh god, God, he's still alive.
just sat down there.
We killed a man!
And he's just sat there, and there's blood everywhere. And it begins sniffing around him. You can't see what happens from the back, but you see like part of its jaws open up. And it just lunges forward to where his head is. You can't see what's happening, but it's like you hear bones crunching. You see blood splattering on the wall. This thing's chowing down on this dead guy. And then you notice yeah, go on.
Is there any more coming through that hole, or is it just the one?
No, there was one in there.
Right. I'm running for the I'm when he's chewing, I'm running for the door control.
The door control. As you run towards the door control, you see on the floor the bundle of material with the stone on. It is within reach, and the figure is about 10 feet in front of you. It seems to be just tearing into, and you can see like just a ragdoll figure just being, just blood.
I'm grabbing the rock. I'm grabbing it. And then I'm locking the door.
Make me a speed check, please, Harper.
Ooh.
Can I use my military training?
No.
These ones betrayed me. I'm getting new ones. Oh no, why did I say I would do this? Lizzie, I'm using the ones you gave me. If it fails...
Blame me, right? Gave you those for D&D. They're not trained for this.
But they're pointy and beautiful.
They're very pointy and beautiful.
Okay. So what, this is speed, yeah?
Speed, yeah.
And no modifiers, nothing.
Yeah. I would say it's no modifiers, but you get advantage because this thing is distracted.
Right, he was very kind.
It is eating.
That was not good. Come on! Yes! 32! And my thing is 42, so...
You grab it, and as you sort of pull it back, it's at that point where you pull it back and the fabric sort of scratches against the floor. The thing starts, and it stops for a moment, and it begins to turn as you. And you just see it, and the door closes. Outside, in the rain. Lucky, you drop down very quietly and you take a look around and you see another in the distance. Is there another one of those things? And you look with your smart rifle, you look up and there is, but it's heading towards the solar panel chamber. Last roll of the night. Could you give me yeah, could you give me a fear check, Lucky? A fear save, please?
Fear save. Can't really add anything to that, can I? Can you add things?
No. Well, I won't allow for this one because you drop down, and I'm asking for this roll because you dropped down out of the safety of where you were before, and you saw one of these things.
Okay.
Even though it was far away, there's a moment of.
Even though I've got military training and wilderness survival skills. No.
I'll allow wilderness on this.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh,
Because
God.
you have a
Which
plan.
ones do I trust? So that's 15, 45, 60. Oh dear. 91.
Mm-hmm.
Gain stress.
Mm-hmm.
As lucky, you send the message. You drop down. You see this creature move, and you're booking it. You book it into the undergrowth, thinking, I know this. I was fine last time. I'm going to be fine this time. I know where I'm going. It's going to be fine. I'm going to... Ah! You catch your foot on a vine, and you tumble like through some undergrowth. You hit a tree pretty badly. You scramble around and... Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? Your smart rifle's on the floor. You pick up your smart rifle. You've got your smart rifle. You just picked it up. What do you do, Lucky? You're in the You're just on the edge of the undergrowth. You're sort of like deep within. It's almost like you got about 20 feet in, and then tripped, covered in dirt and.
I keep incredibly still. Slow my breathing down as much as I can, and hold on to the thing around my neck on a chain, which is the key to the house that I grew up in. And I'm just saying nothing, eyes closed, just waiting.
Do you look through their scope, or you just?
Oop.
And that is where we're going to end this part of Endangered Species.
Knew it.
Oh my god.
I gave you my gun and you run away.
I'm just taking a different pathway to our ultimate objective.
Beautiful. Whoa.
Our ultimate objective was rescue people.
That.
I'm people.
Fine. I should have kept my fucking gun.
Yes, you should have.
Oh dear. What another brilliant session.
Amazing.
And next time, it's going to be the finale. Yes.
Oh.
So,
Will
and
we escape?
I think you can tell it's going to be a thrilling finale to this episode. Thank you to my wonderful players for a wonderful session. There was lore, there was story, there was maybe some character reveals that have been in the making since part 1, but hugely enjoyable, and I think you can agree I had a hell of a time, and I hope my players did too. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you. A few shout outs first. Thank you to Tabletop Audio for the cool creepy music and atmosphere. Yeah, go to Tabletop Audio, follow them on Patreon. There's 10-minute audio ambient sort of music for your own home games. It's brilliant to use, and Tim's brilliant. Yes, follow us on social media at SafeSpaceRPG. Like and subscribe this video if you liked it, of course, and put your comments down below. Because the time just flies when I'm playing this game. And we'd love to see what you thought of it as well. And speaking of where can people find my lovely players, etc.? Lizzie.
Lizzie Boyle says on various thingies, social media platforms, but please don't at me because it's not me, it's Lucky.
yes. Another confirmation
What,
that
Lucky answering the tweets, is that what you mean?
yeah, just winking at people.
Yeah.
And then running away.
Oh God. Yes, but no, Lizzie is of course awesome.
Staying Lucky.
Yep. Sarah.
Milmo Comics, so MILMO Comics, all one word, on Twitter, Instagram. I think that's all I've got at the moment.
And as we speak, in a couple of weeks, you're tabling at UK Games Expo, aren't you? So.
Yes, I'm doing Swansea first. That's on the 14th and 15th of May. And then UK Games Expo, I think, is like the 5th of June.
Second, 3rd, and 4th of June.
Yes, yeah. And I have lots to do for
Yes.
it. So
Oh wow.
should be fun though.
Yes. Eliot, Maestro, man who finally broke this session You've been looking forward to losing your mind on this game, haven't you?
Oh, you.
The last session is going to be really fun with JACKAL, I think.
I love Eldritch shit, man.
But where can they find you?
YouTube, Eliot Red, ELIOTRED.
Which you should, because it's brilliant music. Speaking of brilliant, Matt, you played a blinder being in a warehouse for pretty much most of the fucking episode.
I lost at the end of last week. I was like, I'm just gonna repent for getting high. I'm gonna fix that.
Yeah, you fixed it, and like certainly you are back in the behind the wheel again. Can't wait to see how that happens. But where can people find you, my friend, on social media?
You can find me at able_albatross on Twitter, although I may delete it as a birthday treat to myself. If not, I can be found on Instagram at matt.troy.
Nice. Go follow him. You can find me on social media at Jester Diablo. Let us know what you think of the show. I've got some things to plan now for the finale. It's going to be hugely exciting to see who will survive, because trust me, it's gonna kick off. I cannot wait. Thank you very much for watching this show and sticking with us. Catch us next week for the finale, and where I think we know by now, isn't it? It's been 4 sessions. Our players, I think we know by now who on this planet is actually the endangered species. Spoilers, it's them. Bye, everyone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's
see?
what it
See?
meant.
See?
Oh, man.
That's so clever.
Foreshadowing.
Vince, you're a genius.
Honestly,
All along I
dude.
thought it was endangered species, and it was about rare gold coins.
Bye, everyone.
What would be saving dodos or something?
Bye.